show. Always Irish show. Always Irish show. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. What are you doing? Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean the? It's a poison. I almost stroked out and died over it. I'm glad to be at the party. I'm mad we're this late. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. That helps the defense without them even doing a damn thing. Doing a damn thing. The call-in line. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. Pat. It's Saturday Night Live, baby. We're back. We're back in action.
We're back in the off season. Ugh.
I know. It feels like the Saturday summer shows is what this. It feels like it was like you blink and the season's over, man. It's wild.
Do you know what? Do you know what's the most like disappointing or like depressing thing about this?
That our season's over and Michigan still has a game to play.
We have one game
left. Top of mind to me.
It's Michigan of all frickin' teams it could be. It's got to be goddamn Michigan.
Yeah. It's quite unfortunate. I need Washington to save the day. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see everybody here. We have a different kind of crowd on the Saturday night shows. It's good to have you here. We got a few phone calls, Pat. I'm going to try and do a better job of getting the callers in early because I don't like making them wait. People have stuff to do. So I'm going to try and give them some time early so they're not waiting around. And then you and I have some things I want to go over. There's a couple news updates I want to hit as well. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It feels good to be back on the Saturday night, but not after a game. It's a little less stressful. And there's a lot of Notre Dame to talk about. There's a lot of other college football happenings. And it's just good to be back with you guys on this format. Oh, TextND. I'll email you about that, by the way. You're going to get something extra because I owe you. So let's get through the introduction and we'll go to the calls. Obviously, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way you're alerted every time a new episode drops. Twitter, search bar Always Irish. Rat Always Irish. Yeah, they're asking if you're wearing Michigan.
I saw it.
Get off the screen. Get off the
Michigan blue.
If you ain't wearing green, you ain't on my screen. Take it off. Actually, we want you to leave it on. Never mind. I take that back. Leave it on, buddy. Emails. alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it. If you don't want to see my face, I don't blame you. The call-in lines, we got a group already, 312-988-15. You give it a call. Tell me all you've heard and seen. Instagram, Facebook, Always Irish Inc. USA Today, Fighting Irish, where you can read all about it there. Patreon.com/Always Irish. The former captain and myself behind the paywall. What could go wrong? All right. So first things first, let's hit a couple super chats. I never want to miss those. And then, Pat, I'm going to throw it to the early bank of callers, and then you and I can get going. How's that?
Sounds good.
$10 holler from Eric. Appreciate it. Our lawyer in Michigan. God bless this man. Living in Michigan, being a Notre Dame fan right now has got to be rough. John, the ND floor for 24 has to be 11-1, not 10-2. With Denbrock, Golden, easier schedule, third-year Freeman, 2 losses would be a failure for sure. Is the bar not, Pat, make the playoff next year? Isn't that the bar of failure is success? Whatever that.
I would say so, but I would say that 10 wins isn't necessarily enough for a 10-2 Notre Dame to make the playoffs. Now, there's provisions that allow like an 11-1 Tulsa to make the playoffs, and that would kick out a 10-2 Notre Dame.
Now, what's interesting is you mentioned that when we did the live show on from Florida after the game, you mentioned that. I looked it up just out of curiosity. I think LSU was the highest ranked 3-loss team, and they were 13th this year. So I just wanted to look at that to see how it shaped out this year. They ended up with 3 losses and we're at 13. So 2 is not a guarantee, but it should be most years. And 11-1.
It should be, but it's not. It's
with those tie-ins and everything else from the
other I'm not. I don't trust it. Notre Dame needs to win 11 games next year. Right now, they're only playing 11 games, so they need to go undefeated. But Notre Dame can't look at it and say, oh, we can lose a game now. That's not the way we should look at it all. We should always say, we're 12-0. Let's go 12-0.
Yeah. Homer TD, good to hear from you, my friend. $10 I really enjoy Always Irish After Dark. Thank you for doing this for us, John. Go Huskies and go Irish. You pretty much nailed it. And you're going to come up on the phone lines too, sir. Appreciate it. Steven with the $2 Maker's Mark. There you go. Burgess. Yep, it's on the list. We're going to talk about it. $50 for Donnie White. Donnie, I really appreciate it, man. Helping us pay some bills here. So, Donnie, biggest donation, you're up first. And then I got Tony, you're coming up, a 269. And Pete, I'm going to get you too early on the first bank. 765, make it come alive. How are you doing on a Saturday night? Welcome to the show.
Hey, John, how are you?
I'm doing really well, my friend. What's going on in your world here? There's some Notre Dame news, successful commitment today. We got that going for us. Nobody in Notre Dame land's excited for the title game unless it goes one way. What's on your mind tonight, man? Thank you for the donation, too.
You're welcome. I couldn't get on. I had to work the day of the game, so we taped it and watched it really late, and I couldn't get on the show. So I always give you $50, so I'm making up for lost time here, John.
Oh, thank you,
but
man.
You're welcome. And hey, last day of Christmas, Merry Christmas, and hope you had a Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, well, let's hope 2024, it's a clean slate for Notre Dame. They've had a really good last 3.5, 4-week run there. Everything's that you could pretty much want has gone Notre Dame's way after that rough week right after Stanford where people were leaving and all that. Notre Dame's had a good run. They're trending up, and I think there's big expectations for them next year.
Yeah, I think so too. But here's what I want to talk about, John. I haven't heard anybody talk about this. I haven't heard it on your show, but so come spring, if and I believe, Leonard's going to get the job. They're not going to pay him $2 million and let him sit the bench. But Minchie looked really good in Angeli, looked really good in the bowl game. But here's my question. What if both of them leave? If both the quarterbacks leave, we're in the same scenario that we were this year. We'll have to go back to the transfer portal next year because Carr won't be ready.
I think the the expectation would be if one of them left, the other one would stay. Because if one of them leaves, the other one thinks they're going to slide into that slot. So I think the big question is, does one of them...
This year, it was the same with Hartman. They were only one play away from getting in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think,
and they both left.
I think one of the biggest questions after spring is going to be, will one of those quarterbacks leave? I'm not thinking it's going to be both, though. I haven't heard anybody think that it's going to be both. I think
I don't think it's going to be either.
Pat, don't you think? I think one of them will leave.
I don't think either of them leave. I think they both stay. I don't think there's an incentive for either one of them to leave. No, nobody has anything to really show to offer to someone to get a starting job unless they're going down to like a Division II school. I don't think either leave.
That's the question is if it was a lower Power 5 team and they offer you a starting job, is that better to you than being at Notre Dame at a higher level but holding a clipboard? That's a decision Angeli might have to make is do I want to play at a lower level school or be at Notre Dame? And then there's the part of just if they really love Notre Dame and want to be at Notre Dame. Both those quarterbacks left came back to Notre Dame. They're not playing football, but they came back. So some of that is like the Notre Dame kid thing, a guy that's just going to stick around because they love Notre Dame. Donnie, I'm expecting one of them to leave. It wouldn't surprise me if one of them goes, but I'm really not thinking it'd be both. That's my thought. That hadn't even crossed my mind. I just think last year was a weird deal.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, if they both, got mad and left, we're right back in the same. We'd have to go to the portal next year.
Yeah, and
or the year after.
Man, I'm ready to be done with this portal every year for a quarterback thing. We need to get through this and get Carr and Deuce situated, and then we don't have to go down that road. I think that's what the staff wants to do, and that's the idea. So I'm very hopeful this will be the last go around for the starting QB portal thing. I'm really hoping so.
Yeah, I am too. So, hey, John, do you have any other NIL things you got planned for Crown Point or somewhere?
You know what? I don't have anything planned yet, but we're going to see what comes up when we get into the summer. I wouldn't be against doing something again. It's just kind of a matter of it all coming together and the timing. So I don't have anything planned at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be short tonight. I'm going to head out of here, but we will definitely see you next time face to face at the Blue Gold game.
Oh man, we're going to have a fun group. It is growing and we're going to have some fun. And so every time we do one of these now, it's growing and we could add more people and more features and more nice things for everybody that comes by. It's a beautiful thing. I love our group and it's growing. I can't wait to see you there. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, no problem. And if you need me to bring anything, just give me a quick text and, we'll definitely take care of you.
Will do, my friend. Thank you for always being so kind. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good one. Merry Christmas, Pat.
Yep.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Next year. For next year, he means.
Yeah. That's my last Happy New Year of this year.
Yeah. So Pat, I think it would not surprise anybody if one of the two of them left. I'm really not expecting both in this dynamic. I
definitely don't think both. I would not be surprised if one of the two. I think if it's going to be either, I think it's Minchie. And I only say that because there's less known about Minchie. Word on the street I'm hearing, and you have better sources than I do, obviously. Angeli's, he's an ND guy. He's not looking to go. He's definitely a guy looking to get his degree, and I don't think he has it yet. So the rumor is that he's not going to go anywhere. He wants his degree from Notre Dame, and so it's just what comes down to Minchie. And I don't know if there's anything for him to gain transfer. The perfect example is look what just happened to the kid from Ohio State.
Opportunity,
yeah, right? Opportunity to play, but if you want, unless you're going to go to a Syracuse or a lesser team, you're talking about a guy that went 11-1 with Ohio State, and he left and he was trying to go to Nebraska and he got dumped for a freshman and he ends up at Syracuse. We're talking a guy who's on the biggest stage in college football. So I think quarterbacks really need to second guess what they're going to do here because they're losing the better opportunity for less opportunity. And I don't think you're helping your draft stock by going to a school that doesn't have anywhere near the talent you're going to find at a Notre Dame or an Ohio State. That's my only thing. I'm hoping these guys start to see all these quarterbacks moving around and how the majority of them end up in lesser schools and end up having a lower profile as a result. Like maybe you just stick it out.
The grass isn't always greener.
Correct.
And more, not just quarterbacks, more and more of these transfer guys are starting to figure that out because there's a lot of guys that go in the portal and they end up without a home. Yeah. And then you end
up without a home. It's something like 2/3 of it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You don't think of that though, because the high profile guys where everybody's in the run, that's what makes the headlines. But there's a lot of guys that always think I can go do better. And then they're not picked up in the portal and it leaves them in a very awkward position.
Yeah.
But
so I don't see an advantage for it. Definitely from the word on Angeli, I don't see it happening. And I just don't see an advantage for Minchie right now. So I think you go into next season with 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Yeah. After next season, when you have Carr, Minchie, and Angeli battling for it, that's a little different.
Yeah.
But it's a little different. You are going to lose somebody to that because clearly if Carr elevates and then you got Deuce coming in, Minchie or Angeli might say at that Angeli will have his degree. So there would be no point of him staying there. And no, I don't think anybody's going to Troy, at least not right now.
Yeah, it's and again, I don't know the answer though, Pat. 2, is it better to ride out Notre Dame, get that degree, but you're not going to get a chance, you're not going to be the starter? What if a guy I want to play football? Like, what if the guy, if you just want to be the quarterback somewhere, maybe you go to Illinois instead of Notre Dame then, and you're the starter in a Big Ten school, but it's at a lower level because it's Illinois. Like, I can't judge a guy if they say I'm a football player and I'm not playing football. Like, I agree. I can't blame a kid if they feel that way. People are mentioning Diggs is leaving LSU. Remember, it was a big deal. Oh, he's leaving Notre Dame to go with Kelly.
Remember the fights,
Kelly. So I don't know.
Remember that? I mean, Gilmore was all over me when I said I don't care that Diggs transferred to LSU. I said that's a little good for him. And now he didn't even play much at the end of the season. I think he did get hurt, but his playing time greatly diminished. And Notre Dame's running back room didn't skip a beat.
Yeah, no, and you know what else? They're not going to skip a beat because they are going to be loaded. I love what we have already, and the guys coming in behind them are going to be fantastic as well. That is one position group I am not worried about. Oh, we got a $10 holler. And then we're going to go to Tony. We'll bring Tony up here. And then Pete and 269 on the line. Gilmore hasn't been around. He's in Europe.
Oh, good for him.
I think that's why, Drunk. He was on one of the morning shows. He's in Europe for some trip, so his hours are off. Everything's out of whack. Andrew,
I do remember him saying that. He was going to Europe.
Yeah, Andrew's still with us. He is not departed the Notre Dame fan base or the Always Irish show. He is in Europe, and good for him being able to get away a little bit. He's probably arguing with Europeans about Notre Dame football or something over there, Pat.
He's in Paris. He's in Paris right now, arguing the difference between the dome and the.
Yeah, exactly. No. You're talking about the wrong Notre Dame, lady. I could totally see that. Patrick with a $10 holler. Personally, number 3 is a magic numeral for ND Nation. Us diehards never sleep, and I am stoked to see a playoff game at ND in December against any SEC team. Pat, there was a question that came up. You know how people do like the mailbags and everybody does like a mailbag. One of the other Notre Dame shows, somebody asked, what do you think the odds are if Notre Dame hosts a first round playoff game? They move it to Indianapolis to play in the Dome, so it's a more comfortable viewing environment for the fans, so it won't be cold. I almost punched myself in the face. It ain't about your comfort. It's about the other team being uncomfortable. I want it as cold as shit the week of Christmas for that home game. I want everybody in there shivering. It ain't about your comfort in Indy.
The rule is you play at that school's stadium. So it could be in Ohio, it could be in Michigan, it could be in Indiana.
Well, you get to pick. If you're hosting a
you get to pick?
That's what I'm telling you, Pat. If you're hosting a home first round playoff game, you get to pick the venue. That's why people asked that.
Oh, you do it at home.
You never give up a home game. I know what we should do. We're in a playoff game. Oh, get the snow shovels out in New York at the Yankee Stadium. Maybe we'll wear pinstripes again. Why would you take your biggest home advantage away just so some granny with money feels warmer in the stadium? No. No. One of the worst questions I've ever seen asked a million times. No, they would never give up that home game.
When Notre Dame played Purdue in Indianapolis, didn't you get us into a luxury box?
I did get us in a luxury box, but it wasn't in lieu of something else. Not Holtz, by the way. Happy 87th birthday, by the way.
Yeah, happy birthday, Lou.
I did get us into that luxury suite for the Notre Dame game. We had our own bathroom. We had waitresses. We had our own bathroom. I was not used to that kind of luxury.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I would think that'd be very. No.
Yeah. No. First of all, you look at the NFL. You get the Packers, and they're playing in 10 below, and they pack that place. So you fill up Notre Dame Stadium. You fill up Notre Dame Stadium with everything you have, and You're not going to get them Southern teams coming up there. Their fans ain't going to come for that kind of temperature. But honestly, it was like 35 degrees out over Christmas week. So it's not like it's going to be.
But dude,
it's February when it gets really cold.
The framing of the question being about the comfort of the fans is the last thing I value. Of all the things I would consider, that is the last one I would ever consider. The more uncomfortable it is, the better, in my opinion. Are you kidding me? That's what beer is for. Real? Warm yourself up.
Drunk, is that real?
What?
Did you see Drunk's comment?
Yeah, I'm sure it's not real. Everybody just wants to get me worked up. All right, let's talk to Tony. Tony. Happy New Year, my friend. Good to hear from you.
Damn it.
Hi, John. Hi, Pat. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Happy New Year, my friend. Good start to the year for Notre Dame here. We're on a little roll. Last few weeks, looking pretty good, trending up.
He's doing good, Tony.
I would agree. Yeah, it's been good. But first, let me say this: I'm cracking a few Yinglings, and just so happy that you came back to Saturday night. It's thank you and Pat for doing this, and I always enjoy the nighttime shows. So thank you for that.
Oh, no problem at all. Happy to be. It's nice to be on a Saturday night show, but without the immediate stress of right after a game and everything, all of that. It's kind of relaxing. I'm sad the season's over, but it is kind of relaxing to be back with the group in more of a casual setting.
Yeah, that's for sure. By the way, I think Patreon is getting better and better content. Thank you for that also. And I hope at your end, I hope the audience is growing for you. But thanks for that content. I really enjoy that.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, we're trying to come up with different segments, different angles to offer that aren't out in that nobody's doing. And we have some special things planned, some good interviews with some big Notre Dame names coming up. So, yep, we're growing it. And we just love talking Notre Dame football, Tony. It's never enough.
Good for you. You've mentioned quite a few times this week Coach Freeman's work ethic and how you're thrilled by that. And I can tell you that that's not anything new. That's the way it's been. I remember when he was at Cincinnati, and his first year at Cincinnati, he lost and gave up 500 yards to Navy with that stupid option.
Mm-hmm.
And during the off season, he watched every Navy game, every Army game, every Air Force game, and every Georgia Tech game for the previous 5 years. And he even went to Army and spent some time in Army talking with their staff. And then the next year they shut him out.
Oh, man. Yeah, I love it. It's just, Tony, it's not lost on me. The effort piece is a big deal to me. When you love something as much as I love Notre Dame football, it's just of utmost importance to me that every night I lay my little Irish head down on the pillow, I can rest easy knowing the guy running the program's doing every single thing within his power to move us closer to where we want to be. And it really gives me a lot of confidence just to see how hard Freeman's working. And it isn't just him. There's a trickle-down effect. When the head guy is obsessed with working this way, everybody else does too. So the whole staff, they're working their butts off, and I love it.
Hold on.
Absolutely. I'd also like to, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, because basically he's a good person. There's no doubt about it. But thank you, Santa Troy, whoever Santa Troy is.
Yeah, I know. Good for them, man. Tony, everybody wins. Everybody wins. He gets a promotion. There's no awkwardness between him and Freeman, and then it freed Marcus up to make a move. Right now, everyone is winning in that dynamic, and that's a beautiful thing. Good for everyone.
Yep, absolutely. Let's touch on another subject that's near and dear to you, and I want to preface it by saying, don't run away from your fears, and that's Michigan. Don't run away from your fears, John. You were talking today, on the Patreon, I don't know if I can go on Twitter. I don't know if I can handle this. Don't run away from your fears. Face them, deal with them.
Tony, this is different. Tony, I'm used to like having to deal with Notre Dame problems live when they happen and all that. I'm telling you, this is just different, man. This is like the one that it cannot be. And I've never been in this situation before. And I genuinely don't know how I would handle it if it goes that way. That is a lifelong crusade of mine, is at least if Notre Dame doesn't win it, they're not happy either. And the idea that that might go away, I just genuinely don't know how I'm going to react. I don't know how I'm going to react. And I'm hoping Washington makes it so I don't have that problem.
And I'm hoping Washington wins also. Go Huskies.
Yeah.
But, you'll get through it. We're here for you. We'll support you. But, I'm not deep into it like you are, but don't run away from your fears.
Yeah. Well, man, it's just, I don't know how I'm going to react if that's the situation. And it with Tony also, I would always be mad, but the fact that they have all the stuff behind the scenes and the malfeasance and all of that is an added layer of distaste I have for this situation. And I'm just hoping the long arm of football justice finally delivers Monday night.
Well, I'm with you 100%, and it doesn't make me happy either that a guy who's missed more than half of his regular season games,
I know,
is going to have the opportunity to win the championship. That's bullshit.
It doesn't feel right to me that a guy that's been suspended twice this year for wrongdoings may be able to hoist that trophy and be number one. It all rubs me the wrong way, Tony. And I'm really, really hoping we avoid that situation, but we'll see.
Moving on. I'd like to give a shout out, and I don't know his name or his page name, but the gentleman that calls from Utah, boy, what a breath of fresh air he is, huh? That when his call yesterday morning about his visit to the game.
I'm telling you, Tony, that guy has a energy that is just like, in fact, like it's just, I'm drawn to his personality because he's so like genuinely like excited about everything. I love that guy. Every time he calls, it like brightens my mood. Just his tone. I love that guy. I need him to come to one of the tailgates so we can hang out. I love that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he mentioned, I don't know if he mentioned the blue and gold or the Miami game, but he mentioned about coming in and going, and I would love to look forward to meeting him also, because he is a breath of fresh air.
Oh yeah, he's a
so
riot.
Positive and knowledgeable.
Yeah,
and knowledgeable.
But he's just so pleasantly excited to call in. I just love it. Like that guy's a riot. So, and Tony, I'll extend the invite. I don't know if you guys do blue and gold games, but we'll have our whole group there again. So if that's an option, you'll have a group. We'll be there, the whole group.
Well, I certainly hope to get to the blue and gold game. There's not a date yet, right?
I don't believe I've seen one. They will release a schedule sometime, but I don't think there is one yet.
Yeah, and April is a concert month for me, and I've told you in the past that I do sing, and I just hope it's a weekend we don't have a concert.
Yeah, well, we'll just see how it goes, but just know you're always a guest of honor. You're welcome, my friend.
No honor. I'm just a guest, just like everybody else. But I'll definitely, I am coming to the Miami of Ohio game. So.
Oh man, that'll be a good one. Yep, that'll be the one.
Yeah, but I hope to get to the blue and gold. So enough of me. Move on to your other callers. Pat, good to see you. Have a great show, John and Pat, and thanks again for all you do for the Irish, and thanks for the positive remarks and feedback and the way you treat a certain someone. Yep. Thank you.
No problem, Tony. Have a good one, man. Happy New
Year.
Tony. Take care. Yep, really good talking to you. Pat, I wonder how long it's going to take before somebody in the chat puts this all together.
Figures that out.
I'm wondering how long it's going to be before somebody here pieces some things together. I don't know. Because if you're paying close attention, sometimes there's little nuggets there. Pat F with the $5 holler. I really appreciate that. John, how do you feel about Cam Williams? Is he the receiver we need to turn things around? He is, and I need about one or two more of them. But he is a guy that is going to be an impact player next year. Next year. Like, that guy's going to have to, he's going to have to play, and I think he's going to earn it, and he's going, Notre Dame doesn't get, Michael Floyd maybe is the last guy that came into high school with this kind of ability, probably would be Michael Floyd that could come in and do all that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, always Irish Senior in the house. Good to see you here, Pop.
Oh, hey, Tim.
Happy New Year, Tony, to you and yours. Hope to see you soon. Go Irish. Yep, thanks for popping in, Dad. People are asking who he is. That's not my business to say, but
a very nice gentleman.
A very nice gentleman with
a gentleman who is very invested in the success of Notre Dame football.
He's extremely invested in the success of this Notre Dame regime. That's what we're going to go with. We got another donation here, 574. Pete, you're coming up after that. What's going on in old South Bend area, 574?
Hey, hey, John, first up, I got to tell you, I got to apologize. It's been a while since I've been on here, but I listened to you, and I have to extend something to you. I've adopted you. I have adopted you to my family.
Oh, man.
You fit into my family. And you fit into my family so well because we are such diehard Notre Dame fans that it would be fantastic if we can get together and you would have a blast, an absolute blast.
Hey man, I love it. I'll do it.
Whether you like it or not, you're one of my kids.
Somebody just wrote in the chat, finally, somebody that loves John. That's funny. Hey.
Yeah, dude, I love you. I love you. I love it.
I appreciate it.
I love it. I love what you do. You kill me. You absolutely kill me. I love it. You get me pumped up every day. Even though I don't respond, I do watch you every day. And all the posts that you make, I absolutely love it. As a fan, I know you're not a football wonk. Neither am I. I'm a former football player and all that stuff. I'm no wonk either. But I can tell you this. I know what the feeling is about playing football and what it takes to be a winner. I was a winner on 2 state championship teams in high school. And it's grueling. It's grueling. And that's just in high school. You get to college, it's even more, it's amped up 1,000%. To get to that level takes a lot from many, many people and all the support and all that. You got to get all the pieces together. This is what I'm saying is what I'm seeing from right now. I've never seen this in 30 years at Notre Dame.
So do you feel like things are finally starting to come together?
I'll explain it this way: that there is finally they have opened up the curtains and they've opened up the checkbook. They opened up the checkbook, but they had to be dragged to it, dragged to it.
Yeah, I kind of understand. I kind of understand what you mean. And it does seem to me like things are kind of starting to turn a corner there. And some of the stuff behind the scenes indicate to me that things are kind of changing a little bit with Notre Dame. And I really approve of it. I love it. These are a lot of things I've been begging for, changes and updates I've been begging for. And I love it. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. NIL is not a problem. Notre Dame's got the money. Notre Dame will spend the money. About to announce a new upgraded football facility. That's a beautiful thing. Like, there's a lot going on that I approve of for once. It's very refreshing. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I agree. This is where I'm at. I'm at the realm of, for you younger guys, with President Reagan, he said, trust but verify. Trust but verify. And now we're starting to see the verification. We have trusted them for, I'm going to be 65. I've trusted. I've seen it. I've seen championships, John, and there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
I'd love to find out. I'd love to know that feeling.
And I want to be there. I want to be there again. The hunger, I got a taste of it. I got the taste. I don't want to lose that taste. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I think the trajectory that they're on, it's a trajectory. Other schools are, because of NIL, transfer portal, and all that, they're in a mess. They're in an absolute mess. And I asked a question a couple months ago about the transfer portal. You know, when we were losing all of our receivers and all that, how bad is it for us compared to other schools on the transfer portal? Teams losing all this.
You know,
there are myriads of top-notch schools that have lost half their teams. Half.
Yeah.
They are not going to be next year what they were this year. They're not. They're not. Who is the school, the team that has survived all of this mayhem and all of this? And I have to say, it's got to be Notre Dame. It's got to be Notre Dame.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right, my friend. I really do. And I just think when guys leave and transfer out of Notre Dame, I think there's an emotional overreaction from people like me. I admit it, because I love Notre Dame so much. I can't imagine ever wanting to leave. And so you take it kind of personal when people leave your school. So, I love it so much. I would never leave, but that's not the reality. But it does feel like things are starting to come together. There are bigger expectations in year 3. And we're going to see if we can deliver. Now is it getting to be about the time. That roster's flipping over. People feel better about the well-rounded staff. Now's the time, man. You got to start winning those big games, being the team that makes plays in the big moments. Something's got to change that.
Right. Well, a big indicator for me was the number of guys. Oh, Jesus. We're talking... Well, we got one guy that's 7 years now. 7 years.
Yeah, it's wild.
So something is going on. The university has something there that these guys want to glom onto. If guys want to leave, I get it. I get that. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
There's guys that are staying, and I'm like, why? But so. It for me, something's going on. There's something special there that other schools can't plug into.
Yeah, I think some of it is Notre Dame. Like it's a double-edged sword type thing. That is one advantage Notre Dame might have is because Notre Dame offers more than just football. A lot of guys might stick around that otherwise other places might leave for that education and for the community and all that. And so I think in that case, Notre Dame's in a good spot. But I don't know, man. It feels like things are changing. Next year's a big year. SEC road game, week one. Winning.
But beyond that, it's the untouchables for these guys. They bought into something, and it's about themselves individually. Well, this is getting way off of football, but it's something about the character of the man. The character of the man. Who do I want to be after football? And that's what I think a lot of these guys, 6 year and all that. Everything is not about money. It's not about money. It's about your character. And that's what football builds. Football builds character. Who you want to be is family, faith, and freedom. Family, faith, and freedom. The 3 F's.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't even have to respond. I'm going to get off. I'm going to let other guys get off on there. But I am absolutely stoked that we have a 12-team system now, and Notre Dame is going to host a playoff game. It's going to happen this coming year. It's going to happen in December. Freaking love it.
That's exciting.
I love it.
It's exciting. You gotta make it there though. You gotta be in this first field, man. The first 12 teamer.
And you
gotta be there.
You better be there, buddy. You better be there. You better be. I know you're gonna be there. I haven't met you yet. I've dropped the ball a couple times, but you and I will meet. And I've already adopted you as one of my kids.
Man, okay? I appreciate it. I just hope I'm in that will so I get a nice little check there when, down the road. No, listen, if we're going that far, go ahead and add Johnny on the beneficiary list. Listen, man, you're 574. I expect you to be at the Blue and Gold game tailgate. You can meet us then. Come on, I know you're local, 574. Yes. Come on over. Look for the flag.
I'll tell you what. I will host you. On whatever you want to do. I'll take you all around. I will show you all the in and outs of South Bend, Notre Dame, all that. I will do that. And I have a stepson that worked at Notre Dame and all that. He can get you in and out.
Man,
in and out and everything.
I'm telling you, I appreciate this offer, man. I like the hookup here, man. I do. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love you. Love your show. I love Notre Dame. And I love all the fans that come in here. Hey, all you guys, a guy that lives underneath the dome. Believe me, we appreciate it.
Hey. Thank you very much.
I do. I want to meet you face to face.
Well, we can do that. We'll be there at the Blue and Gold game, my friend. You'll see the flag. You can't miss it. We'll be there.
All right, man. Blue and Gold game. I'll show you all around.
There you go, man. Thank you I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Love you, buddy.
Have a good one.
Pat, you've been very quiet.
I'm just enjoying
throwing me off too. Yeah, throwing me off. How quiet Pat. It's like he's up to something. I don't trust it.
Hey, come on, what's going on?
I'm just enjoying the show here.
Pat. Why aren't you talking?
I'm just listening, enjoying what I'm hearing.
He's along for the ride on this one.
Yep.
Where do you live at, Pat?
I'm in Illinois.
Address.
Pat, I can see Pat's already thinking of a fake state to come up with here. I can see it.
I'm about a half hour south of Joliet in Illinois.
I'll give you this info on me. All right, I'll give you this info on me.
Okay.
I studied for the priesthood. I was actually a priest. I left the priesthood in 91. I went to school at St. Mary of the Lake. You know where that is?
Yep.
No. Oh, yeah.
Where's that at?
By a lake.
It's in Mundelein. In Mundelein.
Okay.
St. Mary of the Lake. All right. So there's a big part of me that is Chicago itself too. All right. I was there for 4 years. I love the city, love the burbs, all that. But all you guys are true blue Notre Dame fans, and I love it.
Man,
For me, it's for me, growing up here as a kid in South Bend, I never knew the immensity of what Notre Dame meant around the country or even around the world. I never knew that as a kid. And I was always a Notre Dame fan. As I've grown older, it's absolutely amazing to me. I just came back from Canton, Ohio, just a few hours ago. I was there for about 4 days seeing my youngest son who lives there. You know, he's the needle. He's the needle in the haystack. But there is, I got to tell you, all you people in Ohio, there are a ton of Notre Dame fans. There are a ton of them. I wear my Notre Dame gear and all that stuff. We go to a lot of restaurants and everything, and I get some looks. They never say anything to me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people go, Are you a Notre Dame fan? Yeah, I live in South Bend. Do you really? Oh, God, I love you. You know, we got our own groups. We have our Notre Dame groups. Really? Yeah. Yeah. It's like the underground, Notre Dame underground. It's a beautiful freaking thing. Beautiful freaking thing.
Well,
Notre Dame lives in Ohio State veins. They live in the Ohio State. Well, see, they're trying to get it in their minds. In their minds, they have Michigan on their mind. Now they got Notre Dame on their mind. Their minds are blowing up because there's just not enough room for those pea brains.
Yeah, it's a lot. Listen, man, come to the tailgate and we'll crack a couple lids and you can tell some Notre Dame stories. I'll see you at the tailgate. Blue and gold. Be there.
Okay, man. I'm sorry I took up so much time.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. And also, when you come to the blue and gold game, bring me those the papers. I don't remember signing them. I don't think I signed them yet. You're going to have to bring the paperwork.
Well, I know. No, I'll have them. Well, I'll have my tablet. You can do it there.
There you go.
Pat, I'm going to adopt your ass too. I'm going to adopt your
ass. What about
I'm going to call you, which is surprisingly the quiet one. He's one of my quiet kids.
Yeah, I don't know what his problem is. He needs to go back to drinking. Hey, thanks a lot, man. Have a good Saturday night.
Hey, I love you guys. Love your show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Even though I won't respond a lot of times, I'll do the likes and all that. But every now and then, I got to just say something.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, thank you.
Just to let you know that this 65-year-old guy, I'm still alive.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm
Thank
still
you.
alive.
Thank
I'm
you.
still alive. The bones may be brittle, but the mind is always young.
There you go, man. Have a good one.
You.
Take care. Thank you.
Oh, you.
Pat, it's good to have people that like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the first time someone's ever wanted to adopt my ass, but I appreciate the call. It's always good to have a fan.
Here's the other thing. You guys in the chat are hilarious. I can't even, sometimes, man, you guys are like on point. Like I sometimes, Pat, I can't even look at the chat because I want to tend to the calls, and I know if I look at the chat, what's going to happen. But the last thing on my bingo sheet tonight, Pat, was getting adopted by a former priest. I didn't have that on the list, but you never know what's going to happen here on a Saturday night show. A former priest wants to adopt me at 39 years old. I don't know what to make of it. Oh, 269, you're on the line. What's going on? Craig, I see you. Whoa.
Or an OT or whatever, you have to get ready. You got to do the
Hello?
Hello.
Do the work to get paid from all these insurance companies.
Yo.
You got to do the work to get paid from them insurance companies, is what she said. Hello?
Damn.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
You sound all pixelated.
You hear, Jim? You hear? Am I on the line or what?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, right on. Okay. How you doing, brother? What's up, Pat?
I'm doing
What's
good.
up?
Yeah, what's going on?
Another day in Michiana.
Yeah, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm just wondering how serious people really think that Notre Dame is right now. Like, are we still holding back that, it's going to be the same old thing, or do we really think Marcus is putting something together that we're all going to be proud of, and we can watch something great before we die?
Go ahead, Pat.
I'm in 100%. I think it's real. I think we're seeing Notre Dame turn a corner, and I think I'm in. I think it is something real. I think it's something happening that we haven't seen happen in a long time.
Yeah, I think my thought is the results on the field still have to come, and we have not seen enough, and the program's not a finished product. Marcus Freeman is not a finished product. What gives me encouragement in a different way than before is this time the team and the program's being built up differently than it has been the last few coaching regimes. And that gives me hope and genuine excitement. And the results still have to come, but the fact that I'm seeing it being built differently with a different approach is encouraging to me.
I think it's the genuality of it. Marcus and his family are really genuine. I know them personally. I'm working on his house. I talk to his wife every couple days. They are really, really humble people that really want to make this work.
Yep.
So,
and it does come off that way. It comes off that way in the way that he works, how hard I see him working.
It's not a Brian Kelly act where he's fucking wanting to dance around. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where he's wanting to dance around in the locker room acting like he's cool.
Yeah, that's the difference. I always felt like you never knew which character Kelly was trying to convince himself he was. And it never came off real. You never knew what political angle he was playing. Like nothing felt straightforward with him. You always had to question it. You always had to question what's his angle. This is just different. And with Marcus,
his angle is Brian Kelly.
Exactly. He's always exactly.
There's no other.
You're right. And everything he did and everything he does is all built around what makes Kelly feel good about himself and make him look the best. This is all being built differently. I have long said this, my friend. The guys that win at Notre Dame at an elite level are the ones that truly love Notre Dame. It's not an act. It's not just a job. It's not a stepping stone to bigger and better things. The only way you get to win at Notre Dame is loving Notre Dame, and it can't be an act. You got to feel it, and you got to own it.
The administration has felt that they can actually accommodate who is the head guy. They feel that Marcus is doing it right, so they're going to support him. We've had other coaches that weren't doing it right, and Notre Dame overseen that and said, no, you're not doing it right. You're not getting what you think you need because we know what you think you need isn't good enough.
You know, there's some.
Now Marcus is letting them know this is what we need if we want to do it now. And the way that Marcus approaches it, he gets what he wants.
Yeah, there is something to
because
that.
They believe it.
Yeah, and they want to work with him. It's a big deal how you treat people at Notre Dame. It's a big deal how you treat people anywhere. It's an extra big deal at Notre Dame where everything's unique.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they want to help a guy that treats everybody the right way and is putting in the work and going the extra mile. Those are the kind of personalities that administration will reward, that will listen to you when you say, I need this and I need that and I need money for this and you got to let me try and do that. Marcus's ability to navigate those relationships is very underappreciated by a lot of this fan base. The way he navigates through the world is opening some doors here that weren't before. It's a real thing everywhere. It's an extra big thing here. And I like where this is trending, but it all has to come together with results on the field. And we're not quite there yet, but we're about to enter the window where that roster's flipping over to be all Marcus, more Marcus guys. The staff is Marcus guys. Like, we're building this. It's just, how much can you get out of it at the top end? We got to wait and see.
He's put the pieces together. What more do we want?
The results.
We've got
the result. That's what I want.
Wow.
We
The results.
have the absolute best 1-2 defensive and offensive coordinator duo in the nation now.
It's a good one. You got to think long and hard.
Together?
Yeah, you got to think long and hard to find a OC-DC combo you would trust more than these two. I love the balance. You got
exactly.
I love the balance. You got an
especially for a second year going into third year head coach.
Yep.
He has experience around him that is greater than any knowledge he thinks he knows yet. And he's the one that knows that he don't know.
Yeah, and that's
the great thing about Marcus. He knows he don't know, and he's willing to learn.
Yes.
He's not a guy that thinks he knows everything.
Yep, that's a very, very good point. And I love the dynamic of these older established guys, you could trust to run a professional operation and have you in a good position. They have low egos. They're not guys trying to use Notre Dame for leverage for a year or two, build their profile, and then dip for something bigger. They're all on board to just do their part and support Marcus. It's the kind of balance a young head coach needs. I love it. We just got to get the results out of it. But I love where this is trending.
They're surrounding him with what he needs to succeed. Is what it boils down to.
Yeah. Nope, I agree with you, man.
He knows what it needs to succeed. He has a vision. Notre Dame believes in his vision. He has a vision of what kind of football product he wants to put on the field. He knows what kind of offense. He knows what kind of defense. We've been watching him this past year look more stressed than we could ever possibly imagine. Because believe me, he wants to win more than we want him to win. So watching him and watching what he thought was good enough not work, he's pissed off at himself just as much as anything else.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with you. It's just refreshing.
Genuine. We've seen that with Era. We've seen that with fucking
Strike two. We're gonna get the punch out.
We've seen it with Lou. We've seen it with Lou. We've seen it with Era. We've seen it with Frank. Them guys that put it in. And we all are adults. We know them things flip up. I'm not a polished podcaster yet, guys. And probably won't ever be, but we know where it's really going.
I hope so.
You know?
Yeah, I hope you're right, man. But it just feels like it's being built differently.
It's being built the way that when Notre Dame wants to win a championship, all Notre Dame has to do is say, we're winning a championship. And that's plain and simple. And everybody in college football knows that. That's even why Chip Kelly was like, Notre Dame has it right with independent. All college football should be independent. Let's see how they run that way.
Yeah, I did actually. I like that take.
College football.
I did like that take. And then the TV money gets divided up like equally. Everybody's independent. And then they share, and then they all share the TV revenue regardless of conference, but then you got to do everything else independently. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get that from Chip.
How much better of a system for what they're wanting football to be in college now?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you, man. I like the way this is building. I agree with what you're saying. And it needs to all play out on the field. Notre Dame needs to start winning those biggest games on the schedule. Get over that big game hump. Like you got to do that at some moment here. You got to be able to do that and get over that hump. That's the next big step. And so I don't know, man, but it's getting exciting. It's getting really exciting. And there's going to be real expectations in year 3. More than there were the first 2. I think that's justified. I think it's fair.
We can't get too excited though about this year with Denbrock, because we have to give a coach time to implement. Now Denbrock's a hell of a coach, but even look at Golden. Everybody wanted Golden gone, but there was also the people who are like, Golden's experienced. He knows what he's doing. He's putting things in place. We kind of have to do the same thing with Denbrock. If next year isn't, number 1 offense and Heisman winning fucking, I'm out.
Strike 3.
He gone. We're out.
He gone.
We're out. We can't. And Denbrock needs to go. No.
Oh man,
that's not the way it is. But I'm at the point, guys. I'd rather talk to you not on camera than on camera. So let's get to the other guys, and you guys have a great night, and we'll keep fighting for Notre Dame.
There you go, buddy.
The way we do.
Hell yeah, keep fighting for Notre Dame. I love that. Have a good night. Okay.
Yep. Take her easy, brother.
Yep.
Take care.
Hey, Pat. Pat. I forgot how unpredictable the Saturday night shows are when there's not a game. When there's a game, it's ultra focused. I kind of forgot how we go all over the map here. When I like it though, you got to be on your toes here. Did you have something you wanted to mention?
No, so I wanted to talk about because
1 second, Pete, Craig, Carmichael, a few others. You're all coming up. Go ahead.
So we haven't had a chance to explore this much because you were gone and I wasn't available when you're doing shows. But the turnover that we're seeing at Notre Dame that is making me believe that Notre Dame can be successful isn't because of Mike Denbrock. It isn't because of the recruiting. It's because of the administration. It's because we now know that Brady Quinn is playing a bigger hand in the NIL, and there's organization behind the collective, and they are doing the things that we've asked them to do. They are participating in it and making sure Notre Dame isn't getting left behind. Yep. But they're also still being reserved to say, look, if the kid's worth it, we're going to get him. If the kid's not worth it, we're not going to go spend $3 million on a kid that
it is not reckless, and it is
right. It's not reckless.
And the other part that's important to me is that this money is only going to proven entities that they trust. They're never going to be in an environment to do pay for play to get a recruit that has proven nothing. That's never going to be the case. But when you look at this transfer quarterback dynamic, Notre Dame's got the cash to win that race. And they're not afraid if it's the right fit.
They have the cash. So
now there is one more thing, Pat, though.
Yeah.
I still feel Notre Dame isn't the most public with the NIL thing. There is still a little bit of a feeling I have of they're not exactly out in front with all of this and all the money, because I still feel that they feel that's a little bit below them to go that public with like that. But it's going on. It's just not like public. Like you don't see that all over Twitter like you did with Texas A&M about Notre Dame's NIL. You're never going to see that. But when it comes time to write a check for a dude, Notre Dame will write a check for a dude. And I always question that, and I don't now. I trust it, especially with Brady in charge, Brady negotiating, Brady meeting with agents, Brady talking to these kids about what this will be and not be. I trust having Brady running that shit.
Correct. Absolutely. And then the second half of it, and it goes back to some of the comments that were being made of people saying that we've been here before. We were here with Brian Kelly. We were here with Charlie Weiss. We were here with Ty Williams. We were here with Bob Davie. The administration is turning over.
Yeah.
Now, the board is not turning over, but the president of the university and the athletic director are going to be our new people. And they have different ideas, and they are buying in. It is clear they are buying in. Paying a player is technically not the university. The collective could have come together. Brady Quinn could have put that together without university buy-in. From what it sounds like, the university is on board with what Brady Quinn is doing. But that could have happened anyways. The going and getting the number one offensive coordinator in the country and bringing a bag of cash to pay him and say, yeah, what are they paying you? We'll max it, or we'll give you more. Whatever Texas A&M was offering you, fine, we'll give you that. That is a Notre Dame move that we haven't seen in 35, 40 years.
Yep.
So there's definitely something changing, and it is coming from the administration side. That is why I'm buying in to what is happening at Notre Dame. It's not blind trust in Marcus Freeman. It's not because Mike Denbrock and Al Golden. It's because the administration is changing. The administration is saying, we're behind you. They took in 3 undergrad transfers. I believe it's 3. The wide receiver, the quarterback, and maybe it's just 2. Maybe it's just the wide receiver and the quarterback are undergrad transfers. I'm talking about guys who are going into their senior year are coming into Notre Dame. And Notre Dame never allowed that prior, ever.
Yep. It's new.
Always the guys they got, they were, if they were transfers, they were either graduate transfers or they were coming out of their freshman year because they had the grades. They're coming from a school Notre Dame respected, and they were coming out of the freshman year. So the majority of their degree would be earned at Notre Dame. Now they're just taking a kid from Duke and they're taking a kid from Clemson, where the majority of the credits earned for their degree are coming from different schools. And that was always a big no-no for Notre Dame, because they said, if you get a degree from Notre Dame, your credit should be earned at Notre Dame. They're changing that.
Yeah.
Those are massive, massive moves that people have always complained about from the administration that they're now changing. So this is the evidence that I am citing of giving me reasons to believe that Notre Dame is turning the tide and buying in to what they're doing. Yeah. And that's why I'm thinking next year is going to be a year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And so what I look at is a combination of a bunch of this stuff all brewing at the same time together. Freeman rounding into form, not being a new rookie head coach, finding his footing. The recruiting is going well. Okay, people are happy with that. Then you have all this stuff going on. A successful transfer period. You got your quarterback, it looks like. Then you got the Denbrock thing. Like, when you add all these pieces together, it's not one of these things that gives me hope. It is the combination of a bunch of these things all together. And Pat, I did see a question here about something about, I wonder if the Ludwig failure situation played into them wanting to go extra hard to make sure they didn't end up in that position again. And with Captain Jack on the way out, he didn't want that to be his legacy again and all that. Even if that was it, I'll take it. Thanks for the parting gift, Jack. Like, at least you delivered at the end.
Like, I'm not in the room. I don't know what happened. We do know it has come out that Denbrock reached out to Freeman. He wanted to come back to the Midwest. He's a Midwest guy. His family is like an hour away from South Bend. So he wanted to come back to the Midwest. So that it all aligns perfectly for him. And they coach together at Cincinnati. So there's a lot of relationship there. It makes a lot of sense. I would not be surprised though if 10 years from now we turn around and we found out that Jack had nothing to do with this, because Jack's gone now. He's out the door. He's
still
right.
around,
It ended January 1. I thought it was January 1.
Was it that? Well, then that was what literally the last piece of business he did, and then
I bet you it was Pete Bavacqua. I bet you it was Bavacqua.
I hope it is Bavacqua, because that's the future.
I want it to be Bavacqua.
Yeah, I want it to be Bavacqua, because that sends you a lot of indications right off the bat about how that guy operates. So I'd be way more happier if I learned that it was more Bavacqua than him. I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Notre Dame has officially announced that Denbrock was hired. So people saying it is official.
No,
Notre
it
Dame
is.
has
they put it out on Twitter and everything. That's done.
Yep, absolutely. Denbrock was actually Freeman flew Denbrock out to be with the team during the Sun Bowl.
Man, that's a beautiful thing. All right, I gotta hit a couple of these calls. People have been waiting a while. Pete, what's going on, buddy? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, John. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I'm things are trending up, Pete. I'm feeling pretty good about Notre Dame here. I don't want to think about the title game Monday. Where's your mind at?
Well, first, like you said, Santa came early and everybody's happy. Parker got a head coaching job, and we got an upgrade at the offensive coordinator position. So our offense should definitely be better next season. I'm with you. I mean, I'm pulling hard for Washington to win on Monday and send Harbaugh out with a loss. And then, boy, that would be a great show if Kelly was the one taking over for him.
But I don't. That rumor came out from the LSU media guy that works for ESPN. The issue is he just fired all those defensive guys, recruited the number 1 quarterback for the next cycle, and then got a new DC. Is he going to do all that and then just leave? I don't know.
Well, he has to.
Yeah.
You never know with Kelly.
You never know with Kelly. And look, I don't want to do a Brian Kelly thing, but Michigan still has a head coach.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't believe the story that he's going to go jump for the Michigan job. I do believe the story that his agent put it out there because he was pissed off that Denbrock wasn't locked down.
That makes sense.
That's what the story actually is. It's about the fact that Denbrock's contract had to wait to February.
Yeah,
that's what pissed him off.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so I don't know, man, but I'm with you. I'm really hoping Washington does the deed here, and the long arm of football justice is served, and that long arm should be Penix's. So that's what I'm hoping for, Pete. As far as Notre Dame goes, things are trending up, man. That was a win across the board with the way the Parker thing ended, Pete. Everybody won. Nobody had to be a jerk. There's no hurt feelings. Everybody feels like they upgraded their situation. It was a beautiful ending for now. Everybody wins.
Absolutely. A few other points, too, is that, like you said earlier, no, I do not want a playoff game hosted in Lucas Oil Stadium. Let it be in Notre Dame Stadium, where a team from a warm weather location has to come in and freeze.
That's the idea.
Death.
That's the idea. I love that. The colder, the better. Like, I love that concept. It will be beautiful. So I don't know. And the Denbrock thing, Pete, that's the icing on the cake to me. Like, things were already going pretty decent. That Denbrock thing, Pete, you turned my biggest worry overall where the program is at, like on the field right now. You turned my biggest worry into a comfort that I believe in. That is a huge, huge deal to me, man. The number one thing I was worried that could be an anchor to way down where this is all trending, you managed to flip from a negative to a positive. That is a hell of a job. Whoever was involved, Bavacqua, Jack, Freeman, whoever, I love it, man. That is the one that I'm hoping is the accelerant here to get this going. I love it.
Yeah. Also for a playoff game, your dad's in his 70s. He would sit out there in the cold, I would guess. Would he not?
Man, my dad ain't that old yet, in his 60s, but you damn well bet you put on those 60s. You put on them long johns and you bring your ass out there and you root for Notre Dame in the cold. Who cares? It's Notre Dame.
My dad wouldn't.
Amen. I will be at your tailgate too.
Hell yeah, Pete. You know where to find us, man. For the blue and gold, we're setting up in front of Frank. And you know why? Because I love Frank and the Fighting Irish. Check it out. It's my Bible. I walk around with it. Frank and the Fighting Irish, baby. You can't go wrong if you read this book.
Yeah. I mean, Frank won us a lot of national championships, and hopefully Marcus will do the same.
Pete, you know what I say?
You were adopted
Pete,
by the...
You know what I always say? Frank won a handful of championships, a handful of Heismans, and one World War. What a resume! You can't do better than that.
You're right. That's a very good point.
Hey, man, in the Navy, you can't do better than that, man.
Well, obviously, you've been to my house, too, and I heard you were adopted earlier by another caller. Well, you remember whose photo you replaced on the wall in the bedroom?
Yeah, that people are going to think that's weird, but like, understand, people are going to think that's weird, Pete. We got to explain now. Pete, I did the episode of the memorabilia tour with all the Notre Dame stuff. That was Pete's house. And I believe he ripped Kelly's picture off the wall, put one of mine on there when I wrote "That's right" and signed it at a tailgate sometime.
Oh,
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate it. I'm on the wall of fame.
Yes, and you remember you're also by Father John
and Lou.
Also,
I thought I was by Lou too.
Yeah, Lou's on that wall as well. So yeah, like you said in the video, kick Kelly out of there.
Get him out of there. Get him out of there. And so, Pete, I don't know, man. I feel like we're trending up, and I feel like it's a little different than it was before. I see it being built differently. It's just, it all has to come together, or it's going to be a lot of, it's just going to be a lot of effort that doesn't result in much. But like, you have to eventually get the results. I just keep going back to the feeling that it's being built different. And I think this is the right way, and a way that gives Notre Dame a chance to compete in a manner they have not been able to in most of my life. And I'm ready to see how it goes. I really am.
Well, I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, I remember when you were concerned about us losing so many guys in the transfer portal going back a few weeks. I actually think, I'll ask both your guys' thoughts, I think we actually came out better with what we replaced.
Oh, for sure.
We replaced them with.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just think, Pete, man, people take it hard when we all love Notre Dame so much. The idea that anybody would willfully leave just makes us feel bad. And there were issues with that offense, and there were issues with the wide receiver situation. And now I just hope we're through that.
Well, and like you said, also, even in the bowl game, just one game with this new receivers coach, and with Gino calling the plays, you thought we looked better even.
I thought that offense ran better already. I thought the way they put the offense together looked better. I thought the balance of run pass was better. I thought there was a better route tree. I thought the routes ran actually looked better. Like, I don't know why. Maybe that's my bias against what we had before, but I genuinely felt that Gino drew up a game plan I really liked.
I would agree. I mean, well, and I mean, like the last caller said, I mean, it may take a year or two for Denbrock to get used to the personnel, but I feel like, I mean, at least you're not going to have him in a situation where he's not familiar with or uncomfortable. So he's not learning on the job like Parker was.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And what that does is takes a lot of pressure off of Marcus. Now he has proper senior support on both sides of the ball, and that should free Freeman up to focus on his development and the things he needs to get better at. And I love it. The balance now is fantastic on both sides of the ball. I love the way this is set up. But again, you got to start winning the big games eventually. Something's got to change this. What Notre Dame players and what team are going to say enough is enough? We're winning the next big game we play and then the next one. And once you break through, Pete, I think once you break through that wall, the sky's the limit. But Notre Dame has not been able to get over that hump. But I think that once they do with this group coming up, the sky's the limit. We just haven't done it yet.
Oh, I would love to hear the post game after winning a national championship with you and your dad and everybody you've waited for these years to
Pete, that's my biggest dream. That's my biggest dream for this show, is that we would get to have that show sometime while all of us are alive. Like, I'm not even joking. That's my biggest dream.
I don't think that show would happen in the same night, though.
Oh, it would. It'd be a circus. It'd be
like everybody be in your basement, everybody be in your closet down there.
It would be a free for all, Pat. It'd be like Jordan in the locker room, bro. Like, we would be spraying the champagne. I'd have a big old
just gonna set up the camera.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. We're going to be popping them big champagne bottles. I'm going to hire some waiters to wheel in a cart with a bunch of beer to spray on everybody. Like, that's the dream, Pete.
That would definitely be a night where John would risk being demonetized with F-bombs.
It'd be worth it. It'd be worth it. So, Pete, that's my big dream. But I really do feel like things are changing, but we need to get the results.
Absolutely.
But we're trending differently. That's what I'm going to say. We're trending differently, and I really like it. I do.
Well, you said also that show would probably go on all night, and then you would let it happen too.
Oh, I would go live, leave it live, come and go, have my parents in here, have my brother in here. We'd be drinking. It'd be an all-nighter, and I'd be happy to do it. That is my biggest dream.
I'd be at my dad's house, and I'd be setting up the same way.
Oh yeah, it would be my biggest dream. So I don't even want to talk about it anymore, Pete, because I don't want to get my little heart excited, for something that may never come. But that would be the dream, my friend. And so we're just gonna have to see how it goes. We got a little bit of time here, Pete. Then we get into spring ball and then blue and gold, and that'll be really interesting with the new players and the early enrollees. And it's going to be a lot of fun, man. But thanks a lot. Anything else on your mind?
Well, it'll be interesting. I mean, this year, hopefully it's not rain, hail, sleet, and snow for the blue gold game.
Yeah, I know.
Like we had
the snow was there too
last year.
It was wild, man. We just give me a 65-degree day. It doesn't even have to be sunny, but just not garbage. Like, just give me we had fun anyways, and we had a good group of the people that were there willing to deal with the weather, but it would be a lot more enjoyable if it was decent.
Now, will Goolsby be at that with you probably?
Yeah, he's planning on going. And Pat, I don't know if I told you this yet or not, Pat. We may have a food vendor that's willing to pony up some good barbecue and food for our tailgates from now on. So we may have a restaurant that wants to be the food sponsor for all the tailgates. We got things cooking. I love it.
At my house, John, I've expanded now my walls into the guest room too.
Oh man, there's no escape, Pete. You're gonna have to work harder to be able to get a bigger mansion. You're running out of wall space, bro.
Well, hopefully I'll be able to replace some stuff with some national championship stuff soon too.
Yeah, that sure would be nice, wouldn't it? Hey, Pete, thank you for calling me. And then I'll text you also. We got to plan something soon. I'll give you a text. Thanks, man.
Sounds great, John.
Have a good weekend, buddy. See ya.
You too.
Oh, Pete. Every inch of that house. And Pat, when I'm talking like...
You did a video of his house, right?
Yeah, when I'm talking about like memorabilia, I don't mean like a couple pictures at eye length. I mean floor to ceiling, everywhere in the whole house is Notre Dame like framed.
Yeah, I know who Pete is. Yeah,
it's wild, man. It's wild. Oh,
so you got a food sponsor for the tailgate. I love this.
We got somebody that has a bunch of restaurants in the suburbs and is more than willing to just give us a whole bunch of like barbecue and stuff the day
before.
before.
We bring it out there. Okay.
And we bring it there and just put the heaters under it, but it's like a bunch of pulled pork and barbecue and all the fixings and everything. And so
Adam Dowling doesn't have to cook 100 hot dogs anymore.
That's exactly what I'm working at here.
I don't know if Adam will know what to do with himself, though. He'll just be standing there with a beer in his hand. And
dude,
go ahead.
That came up yesterday. Me and my dad were driving somewhere, and I was telling him about the food sponsor thing. And he goes, and I go, I want to free Adam up to be able to like drink and hang out, not have to cook. And my dad's like, what if Adam likes cooking? Why are you booting him off this thing? Maybe you want to cook.
What do I don't know what to do with my hands now. I usually have a spatula and a beer.
Yeah. So
you know what?
When
I went to the Ohio State game, that's exactly what I was going to talk about, Adam. When I went to the Ohio State game with my brother, I went to hang out with Adam, and he made us filet mignon, and it was one of the best steaks I've ever had. Yeah. So, Adam, you can still cook steak for me and my brother. Everyone else can have barbecue.
Yeah. But like, I was like, Dad, we're going to free Adam up to be able to not have to cook for the whole group. And he's like, maybe Adam likes cooking. Let him do it if he wants. I don't know.
John, he's cooking me like a $30 hunk of meat. And I'm like, let me give you money. And he's like, no, it's cool. Don't worry about it. It's like,
I'm telling you, man. Carl here says he wants a bunch of girls in bikinis around the tailgate. I don't know if we have that hookup yet.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to bring my wife. No.
I don't have that one. Craig, what's going on, buddy? What up? Craig. Call back, Craig. Rodney, what's going on? 818. What's going on, buddy? What the hell's going on with my phone line?
Uh-oh.
There we go.
So, in response to your adoption, John, I'm going to go get the papers.
I'm just telling you, man. Dude, you never know what's going to come up here, man. You never know.
Good fellows, Pat.
You never.
There you go.
You never know, man.
Yeah.
You just never know what's going to happen here. But being adopted without knowing it from a former priest, that's a new one on this show. That's a new one,
dude,
man.
That was amazing, man. I mean, that just goes to show, you talk about love. That guy had a lot of love in his heart, man. No question.
Yeah. There's a lot of love
for the both of you.
Yeah, it was. Now Craig calls back. Craig, now you're gonna have to wait again, man. I don't know what happened.
Let's put Craig on with Rodney. Let's do it together.
Craig, I don't know if I could do that. Maybe I can.
I've done it with me and Gilmore before.
That'd be hilarious.
Did I do that before? Rodney, what's going on, man?
Man, I don't got a lot to say. I'll just say this, man. I really believe, we talked about this on the last show. This is the first time, and I won't repeat myself again, but that I literally felt like, okay, without it being an absolute 100% guarantee that we're back, this is as close to feeling like 90%. I feel 90% with the coaching hires, with the transfers, with the guys who are coming back. And all these things that are happening. And I was wondering this, I think you might have mentioned it earlier, maybe not. How much of this is Bavacqua? How much of this is, I guess it's not official yet, right?
No, it's official. Bavacqua's on the job. Yeah, it's official now.
Okay, so Schwarber's officially retired then?
Well, here's my answer. My answer is, I don't know how much of it's Bavacqua, but the more of it that it is, the better, because I like what's going on. So if
it's just,
Rodney, if if this dividing line is the line of Jack fading out, Bavacqua gaining more power over this role, and these are his first moves, then sign me up, because I'm interested. I like what I'm seeing.
John, we've known all along that it takes the entire administration to get this right. We got the right coach, I feel. We got obviously the right coordinators now. We're getting the right kind of talent. But the athletic director and the president, that was the big, to me, the slight missing link. I think Schwarber did a great job for a while. I think maybe he was starting to kind of burn out there at the end, but, and Jenkins has kind of been, not bad, but not, I don't know. withhold judgment on that one. But this is the best I've felt about Notre Dame football in a tangible, very genuinely optimistic sense where it's more than just hope. There's actually a lot of evidence stacking on our side.
Yeah. Now, whenever I say that, I follow it up, Rodney, by acknowledging I feel that way, I think that way, but I also acknowledge this is not a finished product. The program is not done developing. The roster is not as complete as I want it to be and as deep. Freeman is not a finished, polished product as a coach yet. I am not saying that we're there and it's like Alabama when they were winning it every year and we're just at that level. I'm not saying this is all done, but what I'm saying is the way that it's building, the roots of this, the foundation, the structure of this is being put together in a different way. And it is the way I've been begging for 15 years. I could see what I thought needed to be done and we were not doing any of it. Now I'm in a position where I'm going, holy crap, we're kind of doing what I was asking for. And so I love it. And I want to see if we get different results.
Well, I think the best thing we can say about it, John, look, Ohio State won the first college football national championship for the playoff era, right? In 2014. Since then, they're always there. They're always around it, but they haven't won another one. So the bottom line is I think we have a program that's going to be in that conversation now for years to come.
That's the idea,
whether or not we actually get it, that takes a lot of things to happen to go your way.
But it's rolls at the dice, Rodney. Get this roster in a good spot. Keep that good coaching staff. And then it's rolls at the dice. Get in that damn playoff, 10-2, 11-1 every freaking year. And then you got to bang your way home. You got to get there. Win some of these games.
John, I still think this 12-team playoff, because I know it's just this year and then they're going to reconfigure things, but I think it should always be first week of the playoffs is at college campuses.
Mm.
And I would change the 4 teams that get a bye at the beginning. Everybody has to play that first game. But of course, if you're, number 1 through 6, you get a home game. And then after it goes down to 6 teams, that's when I would get the top 2 teams, re-rank them, keep the committee together to do that, re-rank after that first week, top 2 teams get a bye. And then you play it off in the bowl.
That's interesting.
I think that'd be the best way to do it, man. I think it would make every team play a home game, or play a game on the campus. But you'd be happy to do it because think of what that would do for fandom. I mean, it would be incredible. And then after that, it goes to neutral sites, and that's when you re-rank the teams. Those 6 teams, top 2 get a bye, and then you play it off to the end, man. I think that'd be the best way to do it. But I'm looking forward to it, man. College football, while there's been obviously some drawbacks, I keep saying this, man, but, as much as we want to choke on this to say it, I said the teams that are building the culture are going to have a leg up. Michigan, to their credit, taking our hatred out of it, they have built a culture within that team. And it took Harbaugh a while to do it, man. So regardless of what's going on behind the scenes with what's his name, the clown, and all that.
Rodney, that is a point Goolsby pushed me on the Patreon this week. He said to me, John, I know how much you hate Michigan, but he goes, I'm going to piss you off. And I said, what? And he said, take your personal feelings out of it and the cheating stuff, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But he goes, John, you got to admit, Harbaugh's done a great job with the buy-in and the culture. They're all pulling from the same end of the rope. The bullshit, us against the world thing's working beautifully. They're all on board. It is. They got it rolling. It's just for all the illegal reasons.
John, what do you look at?
And John, I still say that when you look at if you look at the players, assuming they had nothing to do with any or cheating, if you're a player on that team and already you're building a brotherhood within your group, and you're then accused that you didn't earn those games and that you're cheating, that would only motivate you more.
Yeah,
that would only motivate you more. And so what we're seeing on the field these last few games, regardless of how integral the sign stealing was to the rest of the season. Look, man, I can't hate them that much. I'm talking about the players, the assistant coaches especially. They got some good assistants, man. You know what? And look, we're going to get there. Again, Kelly left a couple years ago. It took him a while to build things. Then we get to Freeman. Look, Michigan already has that guy. If he had just come in like last year and this was happening, yeah, it would piss me the hell off. But look, man, he had to go through. I mean, he had his. We know. I mean, Michigan got. They've had their share of negatives, man. They've had their share of negatives. So it isn't like they got there easy, So think of it. Look at it that way. Now, Washington could still win the game. And, God bless them if they do, because they're another team that I think is doing things, it seems to be the right way. But regardless, man, that's all I got to say. I'm going to let you guys go, man. But I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really good about Notre Dame's future.
I love it. And then, Rodney, I know you moved away from South Bend immediately. Come to the Blue and Gold game. We'll be there.
Oh, we do. I go to South Bend about every month, dude. So I'm out. Yeah, this will finally be the Blue Gold game. Hopefully I'll make. I've had two strikes the last 2 years when unforeseen things happen. But I'm going to do everything in my power to be there, obviously.
Beautiful, man. But looking forward to it. Hopefully you'll be there. Thanks for the call.
All right, Pat. Take care, buddy. And John, you too.
Take care.
John. Let's real quick. Let's talk
All
about
right.
Michigan.
And then I got Craig. I'm going to bring you up. I got a 919 I'm getting to as well, 708, and then a few others. If you're, just so people know, if you're somebody who calls on almost every single morning show, like every time, I'm trying to balance out some of the night callers that don't get in a lot to mix that up. Just know that I'm trying to do a blend here, and there's some newer people too I want to let call in. Go ahead, Pat.
So I looked at rivals. Michigan has one class in the last 5 years that are a top 10 class, and it was at a number 9.
Yep. Okay. I think I know where this is headed. I want to let you go and see if you go down the path. I think. Go ahead.
They're there. They made it there on recruiting, not in the top 5.
Yep.
For years, college football, if you wanted to make it to the BCS or you wanted to make it to the playoff, you had to be in the top 5 in recruiting.
There's one exception.
Go ahead.
The only outliers are you need multiple top 5 classes that roll into your title year, or the only couple outliers are you got to have the best quarterback in the country. Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson. Who else?
But typically when you get the best quarterback in the country,
the Auburn guy, Cam Newton, is the other one. So you're exactly right. It's either multiple top 5 classes rolling into your title year and or the best quarterback in the whole country.
Which I don't think Michigan has the best quarterback in all the country. I think that has proven.
No.
And their recruiting hasn't been
correct.
What we would expect for an SEC school where they're getting the top 5 talent. They're not getting the Georgia talent. They're not getting the Alabama talent. They're not getting the LSU talent, but they're there. So what is changing in college football that makes it so Michigan, after Harbaugh's been at this for so long without improving his recruiting, to get his football team to a place where he's playing for a national championship?
Here's the problem with that. I tried to do an exercise I'm trying to find any way not to lose my mind with this Michigan success.
Yeah, forget Michigan.
I tried
the Michigan part of it. Just look at the numbers.
I tried to go down this path you're going to build the case that like this can open things up for Notre Dame's path and how they're building and everything. Here's the issue. I cannot say a big part of this isn't due to the joke of a schedule that they played. It was a joke schedule this year, Pat. 12 out of 13 games were gimmies, man. Even the conference title game was a gimme.
No, that's fair.
And that's the only part that I'm struggling with.
They still beat an Ohio State team that does a way better job of recruiting than they do, and they beat an Alabama team that is a perennial top 3 recruiter.
You're right about that.
They beat those teams. And here's my point: it's not that recruiting is changing because of NIL. The top 10 players this year all went to different schools. If you go back through, this was an article I read on Rivals. If you go back through like the last 10 years, that hasn't happened because all these kids were, Georgia would get 3 of the kids. Alabama would get 3 of the top 10 kids. These schools were getting these best kids because of NIL now. These kids are going all over the place because everybody has the money. Now you have Michigan and Washington in the college football national championship, and you had Alabama and Texas lose in the playoff to those teams.
Yeah.
Two power, what should be, I know Texas has been down for the longest time, but what should be two powerhouse college football programs in the South lost to two northern programs who haven't produced recruiting wise like those schools have.
Yeah, you're right. That is,
I think NIL is changing the landscape.
That's the only angle that like is one shred of me not losing my mind about what the Michigan success kind of could mirror for Notre Dame. And so I'm with you. I agree with the angle, but it's just, you know what my easiest response is? Why does it have to be them to show? Couldn't it be any other team?
I'm ignoring that.
Does a recruit elite to give me this template? Why does it
I'm
gotta
ignoring
be
their
that?
part of it. I'm ignoring their part of it, but I'm just looking at it. And
anybody else.
And I'm trying to think, like, I don't think Michigan had a ton of transfers where they got like super great players. I don't know. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
and I recognize, Marco Glass has made it's a 1 year sample size. So I agree with that as well. But I think, we're getting parity that we haven't seen in college football in 15 years. And as much as I hate the transfer portal, as much as I hate NIL and what it is doing in conference realignment and what it's doing to college football, I don't think the college football has been at a better position for a Notre Dame team in 2024 to shock everybody. I just don't.
Wow, that's interesting. Let's see if we could get Craig back. What's up, buddy? Do I got you?
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, crystal clear. I don't know what happened before. What's up, Craig? Good to talk to you, man. I know you're working on the morning show, so I don't, you don't usually get to tune in or call in. So I like when you're able to on these weekends. What's up, brother?
Yeah, man. I wish I could catch the morning show more often, but it works out good for me because when I come home after work, I catch you on the treadmill and get to listen to it all. So I appreciate the weekend shows so that I could listen live and have a chance to call in. It's been a while. I miss you guys. How you guys been? Been good?
Oh, we're good, man. We're good.
Rodney?
We're ready for football again, even though it just ended. I'm ready again. I want it to be blue and gold week again, so I could see everybody and we could have football again. But we're in this little in between spot, Craig, and you've been listening to the show tonight. It feels to me, for a lot of practical, tangible reasons, Notre Dame's trending in the right direction hard. It's just got to all come together. What's on your mind? What have you been thinking about all this? The Denbrock stuff, but we haven't really connected. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love the Denbrock pickup. I think that's going to work out really well. I like the balance of the old school coaches with Marcus Freeman being the face of the program and helping with recruiting and all that, while he doesn't have to worry so much about what's going on between offense and defense. And so that's great. But I also wanted to, one of the main reasons I called is to say that some of the people that I appreciate the most are the Irish fans who have not been able to experience a national championship, but they've got this energy and enthusiasm and this passion for Notre Dame football without having had the opportunity to experience what it's like to win a national championship. And I know Always Irish Senior is listening, and he'll understand what I'm talking about. But those fans, I appreciate the most because they haven't had that full taste of it yet. And
Craig,
I just wanted to say
that's what fuels me, man. Craig, that's what fuels me. Like the pursuit of feeling that is like what drives all of this, and me wanting to do this show and all that. Like, that's the underneath driver of all this, is my lifelong pursuit of that feeling of us being the best, and nobody could take it away from you. And that's it, man. That's the driver for me. That's what I'm chasing. That's the high I'm chasing I've never had.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. And what I would say is, think about how you felt leading up to that Ohio State game, how good that feeling was. Like, you knew that we were great, we had a chance, and even though it didn't work out, but just the build up to that and what it felt like back when we won the national championship, there was not only that build up, but the accomplishment of getting there. And it's like that pre feeling to the Ohio State game times 10. So just try to imagine that. And we are going to get there. I love the direction the program's going in. I love our QB room, from CJ Carr to Deuce and then Leonard coming in. I mean, I just love that QB room. We are gonna get there. I didn't catch the first half hour of the show. I didn't know if you guys talked about the quarterback Underwood that went to LSU. And there were some people chirping on Twitter that where are the ND fans now? They're not saying anything.
No, did you see my wait, Craig? Did you see my response?
I did.
Right before we went live, I responded to that exact tweet from our friend Pat Blake. That's who it was. Yeah, it was him, and I responded to him. And Craig, my opinion is that is a big get by Brian Kelly. That's a great quarterback pull by him. My argument was never that Brian Kelly could not recruit. My argument was that he refused to do what it takes to recruit to Notre Dame well enough. What he does at LSU has no relation to him not trying hard enough to do it at Notre Dame. It's easier to recruit at LSU, and it's a very good fit for him in that way. I never said Brian Kelly can't recruit at all. He wouldn't recruit for Notre Dame. Those are different things.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't want to talk too much about Brian Kelly because
me neither.
I'm past him. But what I do feel sad about is that quarterback Underwood. Like, come on, man. If you look at Kelly's history, like, he has not developed any quarterbacks, and so I'm actually pretty shocked that he went to LSU. I mean, I don't believe it. The offensive coordinator who helped their previous quarterback win the Heisman is gone. Brian Kelly is the coach, and every quarterback underneath him has just went backwards.
And you know what? I don't know. Craig, the other thing too is, and I don't want to make this about him either, that's going on offense. The other interesting thing to me is he fired almost everyone on that defensive staff. And so he's going to have to rebuild that defensive staff. And I wonder how quickly they're going to get that up and running. Then again, you could always say it couldn't be worse because they had an unbelievably awful defense that they should never have with the athletes they have down there. So maybe it'll be better right away. But there is a lot of instability there that he's got to put together, especially rebuilding the whole defense.
Yeah, well, that, and then circling back to our program, I am super happy with where we're at because I got to be honest with you, midway through the season, after the OSU loss, the Clemson loss, Louisville, all of that, dude, I was pissed all season, man. I didn't even want to talk to anybody about Notre Dame. And then when we thought maybe Parker was still going to hang around, I was not happy. And then things started to shift and things started to change. And then I'm like, man, every day this is getting better and better and better.
Craig, am I exaggerating if I say Denbrock could end up being the biggest hire of the Freeman era? Is that an over-exaggeration if I said that may be the most important hire he makes to get a guy to run that offense when he's a defensive coach coming from the defensive side, to find a guy like that? It's a critical hire. It took what I was worried would be the worst part of the team that can anchor us down, and now I'm looking at it as a positive. That's a huge turn in the offseason.
Yeah, this is it's not an exaggeration at all. And I was thinking back to where, we missed on Ludwig. We ended up with Parker. We had to struggle through all of that. And now we have Denbrock. It's like missing on Ludwig was was painful, last year. But I'm kind of glad that it happened. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of glad that it happened because of where we are at today. So look, sometimes you got to go through that pain.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I've embraced it, and I am ready, dude. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to 2024. I wish we could start the spring game yesterday, but it'll be a fun time leading up to
God,
it.
Craig, here's the other thing too, man. Here's the other thing. Everybody who follows my show knows I have said this forever. You don't win big in Notre Dame unless you got to have enough people running things that genuinely love Notre Dame in their soul. Mike Denbrock loves Notre Dame. He just loves Notre Dame and he wants to come. That is just the extra kicker to me, that I know that guy understands Notre Dame and their mission and he loves it and wants to come back and be a part of it again. That is just, I love it. Like, that means the world to me. And I just think this blend is coming together and we need to get the results, but I love the way it's trending. And I don't usually say that.
Yeah, you're right. The key word was results. You've got to see results. You could have all the pieces, but if you can't put them together, what does it matter then?
And you know what I think, Craig? Here's what I think. Somewhere soon, some of these players are going to emerge and they're going to be really, really different. And I think that's where you get that spark. You're going to have some stars emerge here, maybe even some younger guys in the next couple of years. And I think that you need a couple of these guys to make some plays in a big game moment or whatever. And I think once you get some of that going, you can break through the door and then the sky's the limit. But we have not earned that yet. And we have not been there yet. We haven't earned that. You got to earn it. But it all feels like we're trending in a different direction than we usually do.
Yep, you're exactly right. We have to earn it. We are not there yet, but I love the pieces of the puzzle that we have. I've not felt this good about the program in a really long time. And it's led me to, I've been doing a lot of searches on YouTube regarding Lou Holtz speeches and motivation and things like that. And it's just, I'm like getting that feeling back again. But I don't know. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and I always say that I won't, but it's just different.
No. That vodka is not Kool-Aid, Craig. Vodka's not Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Come on now. I know how you are on a Saturday night. Vodka ain't Kool-Aid, brother.
Yeah, dude. Listen, John. You know that I can be very critical of this program. You know it.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to be critical, but I do feel good about it. So I like the direction we're going.
Yeah. And then also, Craig, we're on a line of these calls today of a lot of the tailgate people. We're doing it all again, and we're doing it big for the blue and gold game, brother. You got to be there again. I know you will.
Oh, I absolutely will. So if you do get group tickets, get me 2.
Yeah.
I've got that confirmed. And then for the home game when the season starts, again, 2 tickets. And then I'll also purchase a parking pass too to help you out with that.
Craig, my dad and I, we had to drive we went to the airport yesterday and pick somebody up. And we were talking about blue and gold. And we were laughing because last year you were freezing cold at blue and gold, totally cold and miserable. And then the year before you were sweating and you got sunburned. And we were just dying. We were dying laughing in the car. One of those years you were in a winter coat, miserable cold. 1 year earlier, the same week, you were sweating and you got sunburned, man. South Bend, Indiana weather. You can't beat it.
Give me the sunburn every freaking time. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Give me that sunburn. I cannot stand that cold.
Yeah.
I had the scarf on and I was getting wet and everything.
Yeah.
Terrible. It was terrible.
It was rough. But it was fun though. Hey,
it was worth it.
We made the best out of it. I just kept drinking my Miller Lights, and before you know it, you're not cold.
Drink a lot of Miller Lights.
Yeah, you're not cold after a while. It's weird how that works.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. I did complain for a minute, but the rest of the day it was a blast, and it's always good hanging out with you guys. And I'll be out there, rain, sun, snow, whatever it is. So this is a fun group, and I won't miss it at all. Do want to give you a heads up that I don't know what it's looking like over there in Illinois, but the Michigan fans are just coming out of the woodwork around here. I'm really close to the Michigan state line, and went to the grocery store today, and these yahoos wearing their hats and sweatshirts. And,
it's bad.
Dude, it's just sickening. It's sickening.
Yeah.
And I'm 5 minutes from Notre Dame, and I'm seeing all this crap. And
it's very unfortunate.
Dude, I can't handle it. I got to put my head down.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate.
What's it like in Illinois?
You know what? It's a hodgepodge. You get a little bit of everything here, but there's no, I don't know, even Chicago. It's actual Chicago is such a melting pot. You have all those different bars, a Michigan State bar, an Iowa bar, Michigan bar. It's around here, it's not noticeable like that where I'm at.
Well, it's prevalent here, and I'm avoiding even going out in public because of it until this game is over.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah,
it's rough. Craig, thank you a lot. Thanks for the call, man. And then we got to get together sometime soon. You drive towards Illinois, I'll drive towards Indiana, and then we'll meet and we'll grab dinner.
Yeah, let's make this happen. And also on the way out, I do want to say that, and I posted this on Twitter, that you make me sound like a genius at Christmas dinner. I mean, I've got family who ask me all kinds of questions about Notre Dame because I talk about it so much, and most of the conversation is generated from you, and so they think that I'm pretty smart about Notre Dame, but it's not me. It's what I hear from you guys. And so I appreciate what you guys do. And I just want to say that. So.
Hey, thanks, Craig. Means the world to me, man. Hopefully we'll see you soon and drink a cold one and have a good weekend, buddy.
All right. Peace out, my friends. I'll catch up to you soon.
Later, man. Right, have a good one. Pat, what do you think? I got a few more callers. Should we go through real quick, hit your main points, and then wrap up? What do you think?
Yeah, your show.
All right. I want to get these callers in. So I got 4 of you. You'll be the last 4, and we're wrapping up soon. So get to your main points, and then we'll be able to get everybody in. I want to try and get everybody who wanted to call in tonight. 919, you're on the line. What's going on? It's going to be really easy to go through the calls when they're not there. 919. Going once. Going twice. Well, we're moving through them quicker than I thought. 703, you're talking to me. What's going on, buddy? Long time no talk.
What's up, my man, Johnny? How you doing? Happy New Year.
I'm doing okay, man. Yeah, it's always nice to hear from you, man. You kind of pop in here and there and then give it some time and then you show back up. It's a beautiful thing. What's new?
The reason I called in tonight because my son told me you were having a late show. He was online, but his wife came home, so I go, I'll try to call in. So I'm actually listening to your show. I told you I miss your podcast, so I'm just enjoying your show.
Oh,
I'm
beautiful.
So excited about the way things are going right now. With this team, it looks like.
Do you agree that it's being built differently? Do you think we're exaggerating, or can you see the tangible differences in the way they're trying to build this that give you a different sort of confidence? I see that, and I don't think I'm just being a homer. I feel like we've itemized out the different ways. Are we overdoing it, or do you see that too? Or are you overdoing it too?
No, I've been on that wagon for the last couple of years. My son's kind of been, he's coming around now because, let's be honest, when you're 28 years old, you never seen anything. And we lose to Marshall, we lose to Stanford, and we lose a couple other games like the Ohio State game. You can see, but you got to see what Marcus had to take over. He had no receiver room when he came here. The quarterback was the debacle. But you look at the players he's bringing in, they're different. They're longer, bigger, and faster.
Yep. And there's more depth.
These.
There's more depth. They're longer. They're faster. They're more athletic. There's more of them that are going to be able to see the field and push for time early. There's more of them that are near the top 100 or inside of it. The blue chip ratio is still a lot higher than most of, if not all, the Kelly classes. I like the staff a lot better than the previous ones. Marcus is no longer a brand new head coach with no experience. The schedule's lightening up a little bit. I like all of that. I love all of those things.
And the blue chip ratio is the key. It's been about over 80% since he's taken over.
It's a big
Kelly, I think, had one over 80%. That's a 13 class.
He had some in the 40s.
Like 50s or high 40s.
He literally had some in the high 40s, and that's just not workable. That's not even the real world. And so you still got to get the results. But I just feel like, Luke's saying, I haven't seen any of these better recruits make a big difference to this point. That's another thing I want to address here is this next year is the beginning of the real heavy turnover, finalizing the Kelly guys kind of out and then more the Freeman recruit type of guy. That's what I'm excited for. I totally agree. You haven't seen enough out of those guys yet because we haven't rolled through the roster enough yet to where it's going to be their time to shine yet. We're just about to start getting into that phase where more of those guys are going to have prominent roles. And I think it's going to be good. I'm excited for it.
Exactly. A coach takes 3 years to really get his guy. And you can see that the guys haven't played as much because we had upperclassmen who are a little bit better.
Yeah.
But you can see the guys who are nipping at the heels are better athletes.
Yeah,
so
no, that's the case.
How many times have we said, God, I wish we could just have a couple corners. Look at our cornerbacks now.
Yeah.
We're a top 5 program right now with cornerbacks. We're lagging a little bit at safety, even though Xavier Watts. I'm talking about number 2 safety. And we're maybe missing a couple guys here or there, but we just got a good guy today.
Yeah.
Top 61 guy. You know what? He'll probably fall to 120th.
Yeah, right after you commit to Notre Dame, you make the drop to the bottom of the ocean like the Titanic.
Just like that guy Vernon. You remember Vernon was the top 8 guy? All of a sudden he fell to 100-something.
Yep.
After he came here.
Also, I believe I heard today, I think he's going to move into a 3 technique. And I think he could even see some snaps next year. And then after that, he's going to be in the mix. Because I know everybody remembers that I said I had a connection and an affinity with that family. And so sometimes people give me a hard time about that. Like, where's your guy at or whatever. He's trending and they were figuring out his role on the defensive line and all that. And everything's still on track as far as I could see. The guy's mentally built in a different way than a lot of kids his age. And I can't wait to see him get a chance.
And know what's so good about what Marcus and Bowden are doing? They're picking diamonds in the rough. Remember when we got that? The guy we just got the defensive end that's in this class that everybody's raving about right now. His father played young.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying, "Oh my God, he's only a 3-star." Now they're saying he should have been a 5-star.
Yeah, that guy.
They're picking out these guys.
Yes.
They're linebackers.
The scouting is great.
They're going, what is he? What? He's not that higher rated. Now they're raving about the guy. He might be almost as good as the guy from California.
Here's the thing
they're
that's very underrated.
Early, like Keeley.
It's very, very underrated. This staff are terrific evaluators. They know what they're looking for and they know what, like, the type of guy and athlete. This group, their evaluation process is really good. And that's how you end up finding some lower rated guys that end up playing great. The evaluations that this staff does are just better, man. They're in on these guys early, and it's just a beautiful thing. Jack Sacco and I in the house. What's going on, Jack? Good to have you here, brother. Miss you. So, yeah, I love it.
And the thing, you know why they're able to do this? I don't want to take a shot at. I think Brian Kelly did a great job while he's here. He could have done a better job. But these guys are invested in the recruiting.
Oh, they love recruiting.
And the other guy wasn't.
Yeah, they love recruiting.
The other guy wasn't.
Yeah, they look at it as a plus, not a pain in the ass. It's a big difference in how you approach it. They love recruiting.
The other guy said we're shopping down the different aisles. Damn right you are.
Yeah.
You're willing to shop down the other aisle,
Exactly.
which we might lose some battles on, but you know what?
Yeah.
We might win one or two. We won today. We would never won before.
Yeah. No,
we wouldn't even try.
Yeah, you're right.
We lost Keeley. But you know what? Playoffs next year, which we should with that schedule. We win a game or two. You'll get more guys.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody got to see. Lou Holtz was 5-6 his first year. Got a lot of close losses. We're 8-1, lost our last 3 games. Then all of a sudden, his Ricky Waters, the Rocket, all the guys he was bringing in, the skilled players, the Tom Carters, and everybody, they started making a difference. And that's what we're getting here. It's not where we want to be. I know the Michigan thing is making us feel sick about everything.
Yeah.
But we got the Michigan schedule next year for us. I mean, that schedule's embarrassing, what it is. But that's not our fault because Miami failed on us. They cowered out on us because they didn't want to play another road game because they had to play Florida on the road. That's the reason we had to pick up Army this year. But I'm so excited because I want to give you, how this is where I don't want to get religious like. You know how sometimes they say God closes the door and gets another one open? You know how angry we were last year about we didn't get Ludwig?
Yeah, maybe it all comes around.
It's not your time right now.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure when the time is right, we're going to bring in the guy who's what you really need. That may be Demrock.
Yeah.
And things worked out the right way on that one.
Yeah.
After we all pulled out our hair screaming about the administration, and maybe they were shamed so much, they had to make sure
they got it right. Yeah, this time. Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. Hey, I'm with you, man. I think we're trending up as well. If you make it to Blue and Gold, let me know. We'll be there. If you make it to any games, Miami, Ohio, we're going to do another big tailgate. I hope to see you there.
I'm letting you know, we're bringing about 15 people up for the Louisville game.
Oh, that's.
I want revenge on those assholes. I want revenge on those assholes from last year.
Dude, that's
and just like I got my
beautiful.
Revenge against Oregon State this year, I want the Louisville revenge.
Yep, that's beautiful. So stay in touch, but we'll have a big tailgate and we'll have the flag. Hit me up and we'll have ourselves a day, man. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, God bless you, man. Good luck.
Thank you. Take care now. All right,
Johnny. Hold on, Johnny. With the schedule next year, I wouldn't say it's definitely easier than the schedule that we just had. We still got Florida State on there. I know it's at home. I don't know what Georgia Tech's going to be. Louisville is on there. I mean, you start at Texas A&M and you close at Southern Cal. I'm not going to say that's a cakewalk. It's not a Michigan schedule, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. You don't have like the way Ohio State was built up. There isn't that team, right? Because A&M's not going to be that team. You know what I mean? Florida State won't be that team next year. It's just kind of built differently. Oh, Jack Sacco planning on the Blue and Gold game. Jack,
awesome, Jack.
Jack, here's what you need to do, buddy. Pack everything. Pack some shorts, pack a winter parka. You never know what you're going to need once you get here. 708, what's going on? Welcome to the program.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Very well, my friend. Yeah, thanks for the call. You haven't called since July, it looks like. What's been going on? Long time no talk, brother.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at a list of kids that are going to be on campus in 2 weeks, and I'd probably be able to say there's going to be we're currently sitting at 12 commitments in the 2025 class, which is absolutely unbelievable that they're on the verge of moving on to the 2026 class, the way I look at it, because if I had to guess right now, they'll be at 17 commitments 2 weeks from today, and it'll probably take 23 kids. So that's pretty amazing, and that's a really good sign for Notre Dame that kids want to go to Notre Dame, and they don't, they want to be part of this. I think Marcus Freeman's the real deal in terms of recruiting and getting the right kids to come to Notre Dame. So,
you know what? Can I ask you this? And you tell me if I'm overplaying this point, but you seem very tuned into the recruiting. Let me bring this up and just see your reaction. This year on the early signing day, everybody expected to sign with Notre Dame, signed with Notre Dame. And I know that that's not like the biggest victory in the world, but we have historically had issues thinking we were going to land guys and getting burned in the 11th hour. And it's very, very painful. I think it's a huge compliment to the staff that all those guys ended up following through, but also it is also a compliment to Notre Dame as the overall institution, separate from the staff, that the guys want to be there. Also, all of those players, families, and their support and their coaches, everybody seemed to be like all on the same page here, and we want to be there, and there's not a bunch of bullshit games being played. I think that's a major victory and a credit to everybody across the board on our side and the player side and their family and their support system. That is a really good, healthy sign to me. Am I overplaying that, or is there something to it?
Not at all. Not at all. I think they bought into what Marcus Freeman is selling. Education is a really important part of this. They're on the verge of winning. They're getting close. The feelings are good. There's no question about the coaching staff is top notch. Hopefully they can hold on to Golden. Hopefully they can hold on to the running back coach. If that staff stays in place for the next year, you're going to get another great recruiting class, probably even in 2026. But things are really trending in the right way. There's just no question about it.
That's how I feel too. That's how I feel too. I don't want to get over my skis, but there's practical differences I see this time. They're real.
No, you're right. They're real. I want to ask Pat a question as to whether or not he went to the St. Lawrence Immaculate Conception game.
I did not. My brother was there. I did not go.
You know, I was at that game. I was at that game, happy for St. Lawrence for winning the game. But, one of the recruits that is committed to Notre Dame, actually, he's coming to Notre Dame in 2 years. He's a 2025 guy. But interestingly enough, he didn't play any defense, and that's where he's projected. So that's the one guy I might have a little question about as to why Immaculate Conception didn't play him on defense. Very strange. Very strange, because I saw him 3 weeks previous to that, and he did play defense. And there was no injury. He played offense, but he's a fine-looking athlete, I can tell you that. But I think IC might have really hurt themselves by not playing the kid. So, and they actually have another kid that's going to Texas A&M. What's that?
I haven't gone to see St. Lawrence play since they won the Prep Bowl at St. Lawrence a few years ago. I live about an hour away.
Okay. You should come up and watch St. Lawrence basketball team against Mount Carmel in like 2 weeks. Mount Carmel's loaded with good players, but it'll be a good game. But that's hoops. But yeah, I was just disappointed that the IC kid didn't play defense that night. But he does. He certainly meets the eyeball test. There's no doubt about that. But I'm happy that they're back in the Chicago area. And there's a one key kid out in Geneva, a wide receiver that hopefully they can land. And get the kid from Gorman, the wide receiver. And things are really shaping up well. I got a question. You guys talk about Notre Dame playing a home game next year if they make it to the playoffs. Would you be willing to go on the road to see them play, for instance, at like Missouri or Ohio State or something like that?
I am banned.
Yeah, every time Pat goes to a big away game, Notre Dame loses. So I am banning Pat from traveling to any road venue. He goes to every big road game, and it ends in misery every single time. Like, Pat has a bad history of road big Notre Dame games. I don't want him anywhere near it.
Okay. Well, you guys are assuming. I know you're not really assuming it, but yeah, I definitely want to be at that game. If they do play a playoff game at home, I guess that would be the biggest game that I would have gone to since the Florida State.
Well, and it would truly be historic. I mean, it'd be a playoff game at Notre Dame. I mean, it would be literally watching history, and it would just be wild. So I am praying that that's the situation we're in. So I'm excited about it, man. Things are changing. The game's changing. The playoff format's changing. Notre Dame's changing with it. They're getting more modern. They seem to be doing it pretty quickly these days. And I love that. That's exactly what this program needed. It feels less stale. It feels refreshed, a little more modern, a little more hip, a little more with the times. And I'm excited to maybe see that show on the field, but that's what I see behind the scenes right now.
Yeah. Well, they got a good one today. The recruit was good. The kid they got today from Simeon is an excellent athlete. Hopefully he, gets in the weight room and puts the time and effort in. I wish they were going after a couple other kids from the area. Kid at Fenwick, Marshall, and Gabe Kaminsky at Nazareth as well. But it looks like the class is filling up awful fast, guys. So a couple linemen will commit in about 2 weeks, linemen, and like I say, you're going to be down to just a handful of spots. So Freeman is doing a great job.
I mean, that is filling quick, man, to be that ahead on the next year. And then especially if you get in a position where you trust that those guys are going to stick to where nobody's playing games, man, they're really on top of the ball here. This recruiting operation's changed a lot. I know nobody's seen enough on the field yet to really get the full effect, but this recruiting operation's changed a lot. They're way better at evaluating, and they just work harder. It's the bottom line.
What do you think about adding 4, 6, 7, 6, 8 guys in the 2025 class? You think that's one too many in terms of just the height and size?
I don't.
6'8", 300-pound guys.
Man, they want
length. All day. Yeah. I'll take them all day long.
Exactly. They want that type of body. They're going for it. That's their type. I mean, they're going after it, and they want length. They want length.
Do you like the tight end out of Kansas, that Lincoln Cure kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know. Goolsby really wanted the kid that's going to Nebraska. That's the guy that he wanted out of over any of these guys in this class or the next one is that Nebraska kid. What's his name? I forget it. Nelson. Is that, maybe I'm making that up.
Carter Nelson.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I like the way it's trending.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much, my friend, for the call. Have a good weekend there. And if you go to the blue and gold game, look for the flag in front of Frank Leahy. We'll be there. Come crack some lids.
Yeah. I'll be at the blue and gold game. Trust me.
Beautiful. Come by and say hi.
The kid out of Simeon, he's a big kid. He's got a lot of room. He didn't
say he was going to come hang out with us. He just said, I'll be at the blue. Did you catch that? He didn't say, I can't wait to see you guys. He's like, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. Maybe I'll see you. All right. 2 more calls and that'll be it. What do you got, Pat?
No, I was just going to say the kid from Simeon, he's a big kid and he's got a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
And then he's got another, I'm liking the defensive line recruits that he's getting. You just haven't seen the size of these guys. You haven't seen this in a long time.
Yep. My man Martinez, $5 holler. Great show tonight. Saw the new short video you made about the Sun Bowl. You guys rock, man. Hey, this guy called in and gave us a great review from being at the game, and I wanted to let everybody see it, so I made a short out of it. 419 and then 919 will wrap us up. What's going on? Welcome.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's on your mind tonight? Thanks for calling, man.
Hey, man, it's my first time, man. I love your show, and I thank God that I stumbled on to you online.
Hey, thank you. That means a lot to me, man. I just love talking about Notre Dame. There's nothing else I'd rather do. I love it. I live for this shit.
Man, me too, man. And that was one of the reasons I was drawn to you. Like, man, I'm 44 years old. And I picked Notre Dame when I was, 9 years old, when we were playing Major Harris and West Virginia in the national championship game, week 1. So I've been through the ups. I picked Notre Dame when we was up. Okay, I can't lie. Okay, I'm just like, I'm a Golden Domer. Like, because I used to watch all the bowl games in the 80s, and you got Miami, Penn State. You just in love with the helmets. I just love football. But when I seen Notre Dame play in that 89-90 championship game, I said, oh, this is my team. So I rolled with them. I'm not the type of person that says, oh, I got 2 teams. Yes, I'm in the land of Ohio State, and it made me hate Ohio State.
Yeah.
So the game that we lost earlier this year, oh my goodness, I had to kick everybody out of the house, including my mom.
Telling you,
so
mom, you gotta go. You gotta go. The party's over.
Yeah. Yes, you got to go too. Yes, you got to go too.
God bless your poor mother.
Yeah.
Party's over, Mom.
You got to go.
I love you, but you're out of here.
Yeah, she's a Buckeye. I said, Mom, what you sitting here for? You got to go too.
Oh, that's funny, man. That's great. So what do you think, man? But do you feel like this is really being built and put together differently this time, man? It feels like they're building this program out a little differently in the last 20 years, and I think it could give us maybe some different results. Am I nuts?
Yeah. No, you're right. I've been here through I've been here a long time. I used to get the Blue and Gold Illustrated and all the way down to the recruit rankings, and get these players. They turn out to not be nothing, but now I'm starting to really feel like these players are turning out to really be something.
Yeah, and what do you make of Freeman himself as the head guy? He's going into year 3. It's been a lot of ups and downs. Tough place to learn in your first spot, being in Notre Dame under the bright lights. What do you make of the job Freeman's doing in his personal development as the head man?
I'll give him a B right now, because you can tell that he's inexperienced, but he's doing all the other things behind the scene to make him an A+ coach.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he has Denbrock back. I hope Al Golden doesn't go anywhere.
Me too. And the word is that they're close on finishing a multi-year deal for Al Golden. And the reason I'm hesitant to book that is that's exactly how LSU felt about Mike Denbrock. And now he's working at Notre Dame. So until it's actually done and the NFL season ends and we see what happens there, I'm not buying it till I see that it's actually done. But apparently there is an offer there, a multi-year offer for Al.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say, man, I don't want to hold you up long. It's late. But all I want to say is I love your show, John. I'll be calling more often because I love listening to you while I'm at work in the mornings. All I know is Notre Dame is on their way up, and fans need to chill out.
Yeah,
it's only year 2 of Marcus Freeman.
Hey, buddy, you're calling the wrong show for the chill out message. You can't go, John. John, I watch you all the time. I love it, but chill out. Those are contrasting ideas, bro.
Hey, but John, that's why I love you, because I should have had several heart attacks, and I was like, damn, I finally met somebody that should have like heart attacks like me.
So I'm channeling I'm channeling your heart attack so you don't have one. Look at it. I'm taking one for the team.
Hey, John, I haven't seen the Bowl win since the Texas A&M game, man, Cotton Bowl. Yeah. So I hope we go down there and kick their ass at the beginning of this season next year.
A road game in the SEC week 1 with everybody watching. There's your next big opportunity, and I love it, man.
Hey, man.
I love it. Go down there and win it.
No, I'm a real one. We had Bobby Taylor. Bobby Taylor down there, man.
Yeah, it's
but
yeah, go
ahead. But
no,
I just wanted to say I love the show. I'm gonna get out of here because I don't know how my reception is and shit. But I love your show. I love Gooseby, one of my favorite Notre Dame linebackers of all time at 41. But I love you guys. I'll be supporting your show even more. And hey, man, go Irish, man.
Go
2024.
Irish.
We're going to the playoffs. And we're not going to miss any more playoffs.
Oh,
fans, relax.
I like it. Hey,
and I love you all.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good weekend. Thank you very much, sir. Wonderful call. Call again. Program the number.
I got you. I got you. Program mine. And Pat, you have a good night as well, man.
Beautiful, man. Have a good one. Thank you. Dude, this show's kind of fun tonight, Pat. We're just shooting all over. I got adopted by a priest.
My ass got adopted by a priest.
Huh?
He adopted my ass too.
Jesus. You got to be careful. Wait, what happened? I was going to go to the last call of the night and then they hung up right at the last second. Come on. I almost made it through. I almost honored it. I don't think I hung up on them. I wanted to get to everybody. Damn it.
So, John,
yeah,
let's do a live in-person show sponsored by Tiffany Dowling Group.
Yeah, I like that.
We should do it. Get everybody together. Do something in the Bourbonnais area, or maybe we go out to Crown Point area.
How could we do that where we could set up like a group thing with all of our people?
You wouldn't be able to do call-ins, but people could be there in the audience submitting questions to us.
Yeah, that would be good. And before we get out of here, let's run through these chats, Pat. I want to make sure I honored them all. My $5 holler from my man Martinez. Thank you very much. $5 from Eric. There's Eric. He's the one who just called, man. I love that dude. We are in great position now. Call again, man. I love that energy. $5 holler from Ryan. $5 holler from Carl. Rodney with the $2 holler. Craig with the couple donations. And you know what else I love, man? When people get creative, Pat, 1988 for the donation. I see what you did there, and I like it. Maybe next year it'll be a 2024 donation. Doubt it, but it'd be nice. $5 holler from Patrick. $10 holler from a different Patrick. Appreciate that. Donnie always comes through for me with the 50 spot, man. Do you remember meeting him, Pat? He was at the NIL event. Donnie was at the NIL event with Hartman. I think he was talking to my mom in the parking lot a lot of the time. I wonder if you remember who he is. And then, of course, Homer, our guy, the old can you guess his connection to the Irish there? Listen, I thought this was fun, Pat. I kind of like Pat. There's more freedom when it's not 1 minute after a chaotic game result and you have a million things rushing through your head about the game and everything's like, this is just a little more relaxed.
And even though they won 10 times this year, you're pissed off even after the wins.
It just couldn't.
Oh, look at Phil dropping one for you.
Look at Phil. God, dude, the funniest thing is Phil's wife. She's so petite and tiny. That jug, that handle of Fireball is bigger than her. And she walks up every tailgate we have with that smile. Here you go, John. I brought it. And it's just a big jug of Fireball. And then she's all little. Here you go.
And then I like it because then they come to the tailgate and it's like, all right, here's my daughter. Here's Pat's daughter. You guys go play. We're
and then we're pouring out shots. Yeah, exactly. But it's just that smile she has. She walks up and there's Phil and there she goes, John, here it is, man. It's a beautiful thing. It cracks me up. Dude, Pat, I'm telling you, we have a fun group. I love our group of people, man. There's different personalities, but everybody's we're building a nice community here, man. And I really appreciate everybody.
10:30 on Saturday night. You got like 130 people in here.
Yeah, in the off season, we have. This is like the longest path till football again. It's just people love Notre Dame, and I'm just glad this is all happening and people want to be involved. Do you have anything else on your mind, Pat? People are annoyed that you are so quiet. You got to start drinking again.
It's not like I quit drinking forever. Just it's a sober January. Usually I do it in February, but it's a leap year, so I did it in January.
So why are you doing this, though?
No. The wife thinks it's a good idea, so I do it.
Yeah. Well, I can't blame her on that.
It's not like what else is because there's literally nothing else to do.
Yeah,
in January but drink. So,
but your favorite pastime is to drive down to the country club and go to the clubhouse and drink all night. That's your favorite. So that's your favorite winter hobby. At least in summer, you can tell her you're actually golfing. Now she knows you're only going there to drink.
Sundays after church, I usually say, "All right, I'm out," and then I go to the golf course and I sit there till Joe kicks me out at about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And you undo all the church you did in the morning. Take you a few hours. Oh God. All right. Well, I guess that's going to be it then for the night. I can't thank everybody enough. We had an interesting range of callers there all over the board. A lot of people wanted to get involved. Pat, thank you for being here, man. It means the world to me to have you involved. And people
Always,
like
brother.
your Notre Dame thoughts too, man. You're not just there pushing paper. You're over here. People like your stuff.
John, do you want to announce that you and I have come to an agreement for my continued participation with the show?
No.
Oh, okay. John, our agreement is John has to come play golf with me.
Yeah, I got to get back.
What do we say? 5 times? 5 times?
I got to get back into it. I told my dad yesterday in the car, I'm debating getting a whole new set and upgrading and getting back into it. And I probably would go get fitted and do it right and get all new stuff.
That's my next thing. I gotta go get fitted.
Yeah,
I was talking to a guy and he said that my swing speed is much faster now than it used to be because I've been working on it. And my shaft is a flex and it can't not keep up with it. He goes, that's why you're shut up, John. That's why my slicing is getting worse. And I used to be hitting draws with a slower swing speed, but now I'm slicing like crazy because my shaft can't keep up with my swing speed anymore.
Yeah, no, that's an absolute real thing. Yeah, and that's a good sign, actually. It's a very good sign. You don't need the whip. You're getting the whip that gives you when you need it.
I'm getting the whip.
Yeah,
I'm getting the whip. There's a sound to it now.
This is getting weird, and people are going to cut that little segment up, blend it with the caller earlier. We're going to have a weird segment here. We're going to have one weird segment. We got shafts. We got all sorts of stuff going on. All right, everybody, thank you for being here. This was a ton of fun. I didn't know.
I didn't realize everyone's going to start doing Pat Shaft stuff.
God. All right.
Talking about golf.
All right, this show, my shaft is a flex too, bro. All right, this show is ending. This show is over. We have crossed the line. Oh, God.
That's good.
Man, all right. This show has got to end before we all get in trouble. Thank you, everybody, man. I love this community we're building here. Thank you for everybody being involved. You guys are great. Have a good weekend. Behave yourself.
Take care.